can see it's not just me.
Jack, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet shit on TV?
I look and see it's not just me.
This place is a fucking joke, man. You're a clown. I quit.
So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. We call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild.
No. It doesn't make logical sense, but it makes.
Well, yes, of course.
But it makes wrestling booking sense. Of course, this makes no sense. Of course, okay, it makes no sense. However, in pro wrestling booking, which often makes no sense, you would do that. It's about making money. It's not about anything else. Wrestling's always been about making money first and foremost. That's it.
Yes! I look and see it's not just me.
Last weekend was the greatest weekend in AEW history. This is the greatest week.
I look and see it's not just me.
Security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. We call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. We call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Living wild. Yeah!
If you're familiar with how we do things often here on these Wednesdays, it's a lot like one of my favorite movies, Time Cop.
What? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah!
No! Damn it, God damn it!
Yeah!
No! Damn it, God damn it!
Ladies and gentlemen, shit's about to hit the fan.
The system is broken. It was time for a revolution. We could be the wrestlers that we want to be.
We have our own stories. We make our own characters.
Different. That's what makes us elite.
I've been forced to vacate the AEW World Trios Championship.
Time created a revolution.
Show days, super chaotic. A lot of times we get here and we don't know what we're doing till hours, minutes before we go out there.
There literally are, I think some weeks, 100 talents running around backstage.
At that point, it caught Tony Khan's ear, and he started thinking, maybe I want to do this, and let's get together. And I guess the rest is history, right?
We're just getting started, but it's a great fight to start a great night.
Lawrence Cassidy in serious trouble.
This will be fun, right? I'm excited. Ready to go? Go to break.
Figured out what works as a heel in the ring for me.
Austin speeds are so bad.
Is it a break spot?
Not yet.
We need to build an army right now.
It was good. That's good match.
You thought everything looked okay?
Yeah. I just feel like
You tonight.
That was big.
No! Damn it, God damn it!
We've seen this time and time again out of Jericho and Guevara.
That's awesome. That was great. Ah! Yes! Sick!
He's going to tell it. And Claudio Castagnoli.
is that heavy, Tony?
No. I gave you extra time. 6 to break for right now. Go. Quick. They're really flying through. Hey! That was great. That was perfect.
1, 2, 3.
Are you okay? That was great. Way to get him up at the end. You got him back. That was great. Pick him up. That was a great finish.
Oh, yeah.
Going into the card rundown. We'll feel out the ending, and then we'll go into the card rundown bumpers.
With Ty Mello, Dr. Ty and Anna, and Will Nightingale taking Britt Baker with Sky in her sights, and now Sky Blue goes down. My catcher. But team match right there. Jamie Hayter coming up right now. The Elite versus Death Triangle.
The sooner you get to the Death Triangle, the better it is.
Good. All right, the Bucks are attacking. Oh, this.
We're good. We got a minute or so. We want to get him going. Get him off this.
Mox charging right back at Hangman. Now,
I like this.
I don't think I've ever seen him hit an elbow like that. Oh, modern day pro wrestling. Danielson.
We're doing good. We're doing good on time. This is good. Hey, hometown hero. Way to go. Welcome back. Yeah, it's great.
Welcome
back. Loved it.
Welcome back.
Hey, welcome back. You okay?
Oh, I'm great.
Whenever you're ready to get it going.
A secret.
Am I safe?
Am I safe?
Oh my God. They snuck me in. It's beautiful.
Thanks for getting in.
Of course. So it felt great to see Tony. He has been incredibly supportive through this entire process. Of course, we had communicated and talked, but it's not the same as seeing someone face to face.
Hey, I'll close the door. I'm going to run by every time I go to the bathroom.
Oh my God, of course.
Share a bathroom.
Yes.
It's Wednesday. You know what that means? AEW Dynamite is live in Los Angeles at the fabulous Kia Forum.
All right, we're 2 minutes here. I'm going to give you the 5 in about 30.
A win.
Thank you.
So I talked to Tony last week, and he told me there's a plan. So I just got to trust him. You know, I trusted him before, and I became TNT champion 3 times.
Dr. Britt Baker should be better than these. Neck breaker. She's near fall. Let Serena blow into the shot. Here's our finish.
I decide I'm not only going to hide in Tony's office, but I'll hide in Tony's bathroom.
Oh, shit! She missed that table. She landed right on the floor.
Hey, you're okay? Oh, yeah. It was crazy. To get to the bell in 2 and change so we can celebrate.
At the Kindle
At this point,
Literally ready to throw up.
Let's do it.
At the ring.
Thanks, Tony. Thank you.
Thank you. This is it. I mean, let's go. In months.
Ooh, what's happening, guys? Welcome to another eclectic edition of PWT Live Show. Yeah. I am your host, the infallible Phil Marks. Yeah. And I just thought we'd start this show on this historical, AEW spring breakthrough where they surpassed Nitro, which is for some reason a victory. I was like, why don't we take a trip down memory lane and just take a good look at how every scene from that show aged so poorly. Everyone's so much worse off. They're either out of the company or they're like broken up. I just said it in chat, or they're, it's just hilarious. I just thought we'd remember, do you remember? I remember when houses were a little bit better. I don't know. There was one part where they were all chanting Tony and it was an empty arena, but I digress. How y'all doing? I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. What's been going on with me? A lot of shows, as you guys knows, right? So Monday we did the Raw watch along. We had some news there. That was fun. Today I dropped a podcast Alfred Konua and I did. So if you haven't, or if you just want to wait for it in clip form, that's fine. Hang tight on the Clips channel. That'll come like probably before Mania, some of it. But yeah, head over to youtube.com/@prowrestletimes if you want to hear the full podcast, or check it out on Spotify, Apple Music, or whatever, wherever you get podcasts. That's my official WrestleMania preview. I didn't give picks. I always give the picks at the last minute. Speaking of picks at the last minute, so the early birds get the worm, as they say. So I'll make this announcement now really quick. So during WrestleMania, right, I'm going to pick my winners, okay, for night 1 and presumably night 2, okay? And then if people do better than I do in picks, your name gets entered into a random name contest for a $50 giveaway. And I think we'll do that both nights. So yeah, we're going to do that both nights of WrestleMania. So basically, you need to submit your picks for WrestleMania in the Discord. That's how you enter this thing, okay? To pick against Phil. Because I think the last AEW pay-per-view, I went like 16-0 or 15-0 or 4, however many matches were on it. I went undefeated, you know? I think excluding the pre-show, because I didn't pick any of those. So, yeah, we're going to do that for WrestleMania. But, yeah, I dropped a podcast with Alfred Konowa. We preview WrestleMania. He provides some tremendous insight. He'll be in Vegas over the weekend. And check that podcast out. It's episode 92 or whatever. And, yeah, make sure you check out his channel at Pro Wrestling Bits and at This Is Nasty on X. And he's doing tremendous work as well. And we catch up. We laugh about his swerve bit. And, yeah, we just crack jokes and have a fun time. If you guys are into pop culture and movies and comic books and all that stuff, I have another YouTube channel. And, in fact, today I've been doing, like, shows, right, that are more in the wheelhouse of, like, reviewing stuff. And I did an M. Night Shyamalan roundtable. Today I spoke about the whole first season with a great panel of friends, you know, of people that I met recently and some that I just met today. But I did a podcast earlier. I was broadcasting there, and I was the special guest spot, I think. At least that's how it sort of felt. And I reviewed Daredevil the whole season and gave my thoughts on the finale. If you guys want to check that out or subscribe to this channel, I do top 10 lists and things like that. And it's different than the podcasts that I do and the live shows that I do. It's like more scripted, you know, video edits, you know, things like that. So make sure you subscribe to that and check me out. I'm hanging out with Husey and all sorts of cool people over there in that world as well. So we're going to preview Spring Breakthrough. We have a ton to get to tonight. Okay, so consider sending a super chat in. Consider hitting that like button, please. We're going to run up to 100 over on youtube.com/@ProWrestleClips. Consider becoming a member for 99 cents or checking out Patreon. That's where if anything gets sniped off YouTube, I upload it there. And then there's other videos. Like we were just watching the YouTube version of 10 minutes of Tony Khan there at the top of the hour here at the start of the show. There's like a longer version that is, you know, on my Patreon and there's like a version of me reacting to it and stuff as well. So just make sure you check that out. Some different content as well over there. But yeah, Spring Breakthrough, the Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament semifinal. So out of nowhere, Athena's in this thing. She's taking on Mone, and whoever wins this match is going to lose it all in Texas because everything's great. No, I gave you more time. Yeah, I love that. In 30, give him the 5. In 5, I'll give you the 30, I think. Right? You guys saw it. It's not even an exaggeration. So, yeah, this is going to go down here. Whoever loses this match is going to win at the Texas one, okay? We have Ospreay Takeshita in this tournament. I mean, a great matchup, but I think we burned through this one before. Have we not seen this one before? I don't know, but they burn through these matches in the tournaments, and they make them feel meaningless because it's the fucking quarterfinal, you know? Or actually, I think they're in a semifinal match before all the quarterfinals take place because Tony Khan is the world's worst booker ever. So just being honest here, Wildcard's taken on Hangman Page. Who knows who that could be? Is that what it is? A wild card? Is it going to be Mike Bailey again? Who fucking knows? We have the AEW World Trios Championships, where just a few months ago, I believe, they stripped the Trios champs because one of them couldn't defend. Then all of a sudden, they're like, nah, we could do the Freebird rule with Moxley now that Pac's hurt. Right? So Moxley's just can jump in as a Trios champ, but before, historically, in AEW, they have made it where that Freebird rule like doesn't apply to anyone else. So it's just so fucking dumb. No, so inconsistent. And then you have Hurt Business taking on, you know, people call this the Floodline, right? People call I forget these guys' names. I really apologize. Because they both have a great look. Bishop Khan and Leona or something like that, right? And they have great presence. They look amazing. They're pretty good wrestlers too, but they're just cast to the side. But hey, they've had jobs for a fucking while, man. So shout them out. They're doing the damn thing. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking to extend the bloodline and just make it like a whole army of them, I mean, I'm sure those two, even Samoa Joe said on Chris Van Vliet, he's like, yo, I'm not related to the bloodline. He's like, but listen, me and Roman have sat down and talked about where if I talked to my auntie and he talked to his auntie, we'd be fucking cousins. And, you know, like we'd have the connection. Like I might even be cousins with him, you know? So who knows? I'm not saying those guys are, but I don't know their lineage, but I believe they're both like Samoan, right? Or Tongan or something, right? Maybe I'm off on that, but people mock them for being rip-off bloodline. It's like, that's not very fair. Oh, come on. That's not very fair. Doing literal Conrad. But yeah, Hurt Business likely get the win. And yeah, they're really fucking celebrating the fact that they lasted longer than WCW, even though compare any other stat to WCW, man. And you're fucked. And a lot of people are like, oh, so WCW Saturday night didn't exist and shit. Here's the thing, though. That wasn't in prime time, right? So that's the argument people can make there. Like, that you know, Saturday night was like a lead-in show or whatever, I believe. So yeah, so that's my breakdown. And you know what they say, and sorry, I'm a little when the weather flips around, man, my allergies get going, so I'm a little throaty. Pause. No Diddy, right? And I'm a little sniffly, right? No Tony. I know, I'm joking. Fuck, I don't like making those jokes. But listen. It's the weather's just flip-flopping here in Canada, right? So it's very like rainy and shit, and I'm just like, oh, it was sunny a moment ago. What's happening? You know, my allergies, the pollens. So Eric, for 2, let's check in with chat here. The best guys, Nick Khan. Yeah, we're gonna get into that tonight as well. So we take a look at the title. Mariah May wants WWE. Dave Meltzer lies and says, oh, I talked to sources, but no, he didn't do that. He just scrolled Twitter like everyone else did. Nick Khan flat out buries AEW, and I believe Nick Khan and HBK are just ultra petty, and Triple H obviously is a bit too, but I always give him, like, to me, I think after his heart shit, he just chilled way out, and he probably gets a kick out of it, but I just think his focus couldn't be for a second. Like, it's like, yeah, let HBK and, you know, Nick handle how we take jabs at them, and the wrestlers can do it if they want, you know, but like, he's just got to focus on tying all the knots together. But yeah, we're going to get into that tonight. What else, man? New Japan, Mercedes Mone fleecing Tony Khan and just laughing about it, literally laughing about it. Phil versus the field. Yeah, the first Phil versus the field, man. Get into the Discord. That's how you submit your picks. Okay. And give me your WrestleMania picks. I do mine last second before the show goes on the air, and that's how I'm doing night 1, and that's how I'm doing night 2. And yes, I get the advantage. But if more than one of you, if it's just one of you who beats me, or if everyone ties, then I don't know. We'll have to we'll decide, right? Either everyone gets in who ties or everyone doesn't, you know. But if like people get in and then someone ties, the tie doesn't count. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and I think we'll do them for both nights. But my home field advantage is I get to pick right before the night of, and of both shows. You know what I'm saying? Night 1 and 2. But yeah, get in the Discord. It's a good hang. Okay. So. What do we got, guys? Let me check in with chat, though, some more. Sorry, I don't even know if I checked in entirely. I'll be checking in to make sure they grow, and since I can't garden, you have to do it for me. WCW, a.k.a. Crocker Promotions, a.k.a. Mid-Atlantic, had a near 30 runs, so Tony Boy. Were they in prime time, though, Kevin? What's good, chat? What's up? Chat's fucking lit tonight. Let's go. Eric Bitchoff has been very quiet on Twitter lately. Yeah, you're calling him a bitch, so that's not very fair, Eric. That's not very fair, Boris, to call Eric. We're all here for a healthy.
Oh, come on now, Eric.
But yeah, he has been awfully quiet, and he's like, I'm not talking about wrestling, or like, I'm done in the wrestling industry, but then he's still like doing wrestling stuff here and there. Like he just talked to Mark Miro, which I guess is like a little removed from wrestling now, but obviously they talked wrestling. And yeah, I don't know, man. It's good on him. I wonder if this was sort of like a strike to his ego, and he just knew, like, holy shit, this wave's gonna come in of insane people. But they always come back. I started job Monday, been looking since August. Good benefits and the best pays, Tony Khan, I've ever had. That's good, man. God bless you, and fucking A, man. I'm glad that everything's doing well. Cobb last match with New Japan. Yeah, Naito. We're going to get into New Japan stuff. I'm just checking in with chat for a minute. I missed you guys. You know what I'm saying? It's only been a day or whatever, but yeah. Tony fears Glacier. Yeah. Hey, I would too, bro. Oh, shit. Okay. Nobody ever leaves wrestling. Yeah. Take some coke on. No, dude, I don't do that shit. Fuck no. Now back in the day, no, no, dude, I'm in my 30s, bro. Axe cleaned up for a long while, and you know, it's just in the party days. You know, you might do this or that, but these days, definitely not. You know, especially you don't know what's in that shit these days, bro. There's fentanyl on the streets. Yeah. I know. I'm going to get into drug smuggling, pal. Yeah, the Saudis are going to help me. What's going on with Ricochet and Nick Khan? Not too much, man. Ricochet, he's just doing his heel thing. You know, he was joking with Naomi like 2 minutes after that, right? About what Naomi posted. So let's he's not doing the pod anymore. No, he is Chris RD44. That's what's weird. So that's what I said on on my show. I'm like, so he's not going to do like MLW one shots anymore or what? Like, what's going on? What does this entail? I don't know. But yeah, let's get into everything, man. Let's get into some fucking light news. We got light news going down. And where do we start? Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. Haha. We have a lot here. So we have a handful. You guys want more Rhea Ripley? Well, she's clothed. Sorry. Right? But we head over to UFC, MMA, ties directly in with WWE and Rhea Ripley this entire time. I'm not bringing any obscure MMA shit to you other than told you guys so. When it comes to the Netflix deal.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
So UFC gifts Rhea Ripley a gift box at UFC 314. She was there cheering for, with Buddy Matthews, cheering for Alex Volkanovski, who recaptured his 145-pound featherweight crown.
For me? Yeah. Stop. Thank you. I'm like scared but excited. Oh, I know who's gonna love this. So my husband just bought a whole bunch of UFC trading cards because I went on a little bit of a Labubu kick, which is like this floppy animal thing. So
and they're not like Buddy Matthews, AEW star. That's fucked, man. You know, it's pretty fucked. And obviously, like, you know, UFC knows, or I wonder if they're told. Hey, pal. I mean, Vince disguising his voice. Don't let that Buddy Matthews motherfucker on my television.
He's like, I wanna get something too. So he got a whole bunch of UFC cards, and now he's got more to open. Oh damn! It's got the number on it and everything. Love it. It's my colors too.
And they didn't botch Miami with Mommy. Like it was in Miami just before the chat freaks out.
Black and white, a little bit of
Look
yellow.
at her drip though. Look at her fucking watch, man. That thing's blank.
AKA gold. Mommy's colors. I know this is
just some basic merch and some fucking trading cards or whatever.
Get stolen. That's sick. Thanks, UFC.
We have a ring girl like shooting those into the crowd from a fucking cannon, from a shirt cannon or whatever. Here's Rhea Ripley some more at the UFC event. Let's check this out.
I'm here to support the Aussie boy himself, Volkanovski. And in 7 days, both Aussies are going to have their championships back. Tonight, Volk at UFC 314, and me, Rhea Ripley, at WrestleMania 41. Let's go, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! I'm here.
She's wearing a fuckload of gold, man. And her watch is so nice. Here's the thing. Volk recaptured his title. We have the reaction. He fucking put hands on Lopez, but they were going back and forth, man. It was an incredible fight if you guys didn't see it. Here's Rhea, Mommy in the crowd having a fun-ass time. Here's Dana White. We'll circle back to that. Here's Mommy, rather, and Buddy Matthews waiting for the decision to be called out before they get the fuck out of there. So they're super excited, but they bail out. They bailed out through the tunnel like right after probably just to get backstage and like celebrate with them, to congratulate Volk, to be honest. But and they're wearing matching camo and they have a shake and shit. That's how you know they're besties and they're in love. You know what I'm saying? They dap it up. Then they just walk out. We're out of here. In our business, when you do read the finish, you get the fuck out. So Dana White just listen, this is what he says about ESPN and everything, okay, and Netflix and all that, and it ties in because yes, we're getting UFC on Netflix as well. I guarantee it.
I believe the ESPN negotiation window ends Tuesday, right?
Right.
So just curious, as we go into that and you're like surveying the options and everything, like what kind of mindset are you taking into that, and like how to level up the product, right? Because that's always been the case with every new TV deal. Is it more events, less events, different types of things? Is there any insights you can share?
No, it's a great question. I mean, when the window opens, we'll obviously start, talking to lots of different people, and we'll see what the options are out there. We've said this every time. There could be a time when we end up on several different networks, like sports, like all other sports do.
You hear that? So it could be like Netflix buys 5 huge fights. They want 5 big ones in an arena, pal. And then maybe ESPN just gets the fight nights that are out of the Apex and shit. And maybe Peacock gets the, I'm just throwing that out there based on what he's saying. But yeah, I feel like, and then I listened to Ilya Topuria. Sorry, not to bore you guys with the MMA shit if you're not into that, but I promise we'll circle it back to wrestling. Ilya Topuria was on Joe Rogan as well. And he was sort of talking about he was sort of stooging shit. He's like, yeah, I think Netflix they want like a big Europe fight with like 80,000 people on, in prime time on Netflix and stuff like that. Speaking of prime time, pal. So I don't know. We don't need to listen to the whole clip, but interesting to say the least. And I think you're foolish, especially with him just saying that. I don't know. We might end up on a bunch of different shit right there. You're foolish to think they're not going to, pull what WWE's doing to an extent with some shows on Peacock still, and then some shit like they don't have a weekly show. Maybe Dana White's looking for a fight or something when they do those seasons, but yeah, you'd be foolish to think they won't be on Netflix in some capacity, you know, like Dana's on the board at TKO or whatever. So we have some more light news to get to here as you guys enjoy that people's elbow. Where do we start, man? Here, we'll go to Miscellaneous and we'll just get rolling through there because we got a good handful here as well. Okay, so let's share this tab. All right. And let's play a fucking banjo. How about that? I like that. Cheers me up. Okay. So Sebastian Wolf Pro says, man, I don't care if you've main evented Mania before. If you walk out of a match mid-match, you should maybe think about finding something else to do because I don't think this wrestling thing is for you anymore. Whack-ass egos like that ruin this thing for everyone. Now, I don't know who the fuck he was talking about, but I bookmarked it hoping somebody, like someone said Hammer. No shots fired at Gail Kim. It's like, what? Everyone's just throwing name Austin Aries again. What did he do? He's on commentary, I thought. So, and Austin Aries never main evented a fucking Mania. So Hulk Hogan was there, dude. I walked out. That stinky giant. I walked out mid-match, brother. So MLW, man, Hammerstone is just, he's back in jacked and he's back in MLW. Now that MLW is doing good business, and they're not completely fucking people with contracts and shit, and they sued WWE and they, settled or whatever they did, and I'm not a legal guy, right? I'm no paralegal, pal. Like, but they got their 20 million and then they're just investing and they're making good moves and they're growing and seemingly at least, and they're bringing talent in, and then they bring fucking Hammerstone back. Like his time with TNA went up. We saw him once in NXT. NXT didn't want him. The main roster don't want him to just like be in a heel faction with the Miz, like him and the Miz and like someone else or something, like just a fresh group of like 3 dudes, kind of legacy-ish or evolution-ish or something. Crazy to me. He just went to MLW. He's back with them. They made him this fucking, and I love Hammerstone, but this shirt, like, I don't know. I like basic stuff, black and white and shit like that, but it's like real basic. That's like that's like some shit. That's just like the template or whatever. So I love Hammerstone, but goddamn, kid, I think he's just in MLW again for a while. So unfortunate. Joey Janela, for the first time ever, the senior scramble. So the Warlord, age 62, Mike Jackson, age 75, Chimone, Tommy Rich, age 68, George South, age 62, Ricky Morton, who somehow worked his way into getting like an old picture of himself here, age 68, Doug Gilbert, age 56. And they're all wrestling in this match, the senior scramble that Joey booked him in, man. So here is Himawari Nakajima. She finds out that the 619 isn't as easy as it may seem. So I don't know if she did this purposefully. I watched this a couple times and I was like, she might just be joking, because like they'll break out in full-on fucking dance routines and shit in Japan in these Joshi feds. So I don't know if this was her joking around or if this is a shoot, but by God, she's gonna get an AEW contract in no time. Like, is it a shtick where she's learning how to do the move or something? Watch that again. Jesus. People were roasting it. I think she was just fucking around, so it deserves to be roasted either way, whether it's a botch or not. So Jeff Cobb, he leaves New Japan Pro Wrestling, and we covered Jeff Cobb on the show, and I talked about how, well, they just gave him a tag strap, and, you know, he's taking shots like, hey, the dirt sheets are wrong. Pardon me. The dirt sheets are wrong, so no, he's out the door, man, and he was about to challenge the world champ, or he just did or whatever. The rumors are we're going to cover Dave Meltzer. Well, I guess crying about it. I mean, for whatever reason, that makes no fucking sense at all. He chose WWE. And people are mad at WWE like, they're making people give up their belts to. It's like, listen, man, Omos can't lose to anybody in Noah. Ricky can't miss his opportunity ever again, because God forbid, man, he misses the boat on NXT or WWE after what the fuck happened to him in AEW. And Jeff Cobb's 42, so he needs to get the fuck out of there too, man. And it's not Jeff Cobb's fault that New Japan knew he was dipping out and they're putting him in world title matches and giving him the tag straps, trying to incentivize him to stay around. That's some Tony Khan shit. Okay? That's not going to make people stay around, giving him the fucking tag belts for the 100th time. He's 42, bro. Okay, he needs that money match. They need heels on the main roster in WWE. So, also Naito's left, right? And we'll talk about that in just a grip here. Naito is one of the last draws. Like, he's like the last true marketably, you can fucking look at it and go, Naito draws for New Japan. And he's gonzo. You know, and then people are shitting on him too. We're going to cover that in a bit, where of course they're shitting on him just because some people are like, he might go to WWE, do you think? And people are like, he's broken down and trash. And it's like, well, he doesn't have to wrestle even, you know, and they're like, he detests Japanese people. We'll cover it. It's so silly. But yeah, Naito's out of there too. Jeff Cobb. I'm a fan of him. If you're like a New Japan mark, he's definitely a standout guy. He's wrestled in Ring of Honor. He's wrestled all over the place, really. And yeah, it's his time now to go to WWE. He's like 42. He's going to jump at that opportunity. You can't miss that. They're doing record business. Maybe he can get over. And it seems like Triple H and them have really eyed up these Lucha Underground talents too, but provided a shitload of people went through Lucha Underground, like legit people, you know? So yeah, I think they're just going to present him like as he is, come as you are, you know, because he's a shoot wrestler who'll fucking stretch you, you know? So shout out Jeff Cobb, man. We need heels. Here's this bro in the Katy Perry music video for Dark Horse. And someone discovered that this guy was wearing a John Cena replica title. If you guys can see that, man, this Egyptian pharaoh dude's wearing a fucking John Cena replica belt, which that's hilarious. And that's in like a prop department, you know? I don't think I've seen a Bret Hart impression a day in my life until a few minutes ago when I saw this. So this guy here knocks it out of the park with this Bret Hart impression. I hope, or you make the list. No, I'm just kidding. But we'll judge together whether or not this gentleman here kills it.
Oh, I think that Coke is better than Pepsi. Coke's got a lot more flavor to it.
Yeah, kills it. Just the Canadianness of it. It's so Bret Hart, right? When he just starts talking about Coke and Pepsi, but
Oh, I think that Coke is better than Pepsi. Coke's got a lot more flavor to it, and I occasionally have one. And you know how I know Coke is better than Pepsi is because Bill Goldberg drinks Pepsi, and he's the one who kicked me in the head and cost me millions of dollars.
Yes.
Bill Goldberg is the absolute lousiest wrestler that I've ever seen in my life. Oh, I think that Coke is...
Yeah, that's money right there, chat. That is money. Shout that guy out. So after 3 years, New Japan World aired its final broadcast of AEW with Japanese commentary. The English language version of AEW will continue to be distributed on New Japan World, but it will no longer be available with Japanese commentary and subtitles. And this girl's face here says it all. And it's just like, and then look, they even have a masked guy, right? And it's like, listen, man, I told you guys this. No one covered this shit, okay? They fucking got outdrawn. AEW super show with New Japan the night before a show with just New Japan guys, the just New Japan guys show outdrew the AEW one. All right. So, or vice versa. One, it doesn't matter which order. Like the New Japan guys that they see all the time in Japan outdrew when those same guys mixed it up with Kenny Omega and AEW and shit. Jack Perry and shit. You know what I'm saying? So now they're not even going to bother. That means such a well, what are the max numbers? The Japanese demographic is key, Brian. Like, not enough people are watching it. Not enough Japanese folks are even watching AEW to want the Japanese commentary. They just, like, you know, New Japan World's like, why are we fucking paying to do this? So that in and of itself is just a giant L. You know, yeah, here we go. Odyssey Jones, just Odyssey though. He will be at WrestleCon. Jeff Cobb says, wow, overwhelmed by the messages and support and hate. It's very much appreciated. So I just wanted to clear up any rumors and innuendos. Yes, it is in fact 100% true that Monster Matanza Cueto from Lucha Underground fame was in fact watching my matches from his cell and stealing them to use on the El Rey network. But don't worry, I have contacted a wonderful lawyer in Stephen P. New, dude. Call Stephen P. New if you need to sue to rectify the situation. Thank you for the support in these trying times. So, yeah, he's just leaning into it. He's having fun. You know, he's cult of meat with extra cheese, obviously. So, Sabu's final match, Joey Janela's going to wrestle Sabu. Even AEW wouldn't put this man on television. God damn it. You guys can hear mini marks? Yeah. He's just coming to say peace out. And then, but this card, though, man, you have the Matt Tremont versus Suzuki. They're going to butcher each other. GCW tag titles, Violence is Forever versus Alec Price and a random person. So these Violence is Forever guys were playing security guards on Dynamite or whatever recently. Mask versus GCW career, Fuego del Sol versus Atticus Kogar. And I'm praying Fuego del Sol retires Atticus. You have Masha Slamovich versus Suzu Suzuki for the GCW world title. Suzu Suzuki's been in AEW. Megan Bain is taking on Bozilla. There's a bunch of Oh, that's the old man match. Then you have Zack Sabre versus one called Manders. Then you have Mance Warner versus Gabe Kidd, which is a banger. Like, that match legit is a banger. And then the Wagner family versus Los Desperados. So we're plugging spring break here, man, for free. We're just plugging it. So just announced, though, Tetsuya Naito and New Japan Pro Wrestling have mutually agreed that Naito's contract won't be renewed. He will make all of his scheduled appearances ending May 4. Bushi and New Japan have come to terms on his departure per Bushi's request. He will also make all scheduled appearances ending May 4. So ultimately, yeah, I don't think this is him like, I'm going to go to WWE. And I wouldn't be shocked if he just went and got like a Tony Khan bag from AEW. But, yeah, people are just shitting on him, though, now. They're just like, oh, he's had 3 eye surgeries and he fucking has no knees and he detests Japanese wrestlers going to America and all this shit. And it's like, okay, shut up, you fucking marks. Like, he could go work as a coach. He could just get inducted like Muda or something. But, yeah, they posted this statement here if you guys want to check that out. You guys can just pause that or whatever and read it if you'd like. But they just basically say it was a mutual separation or whatever. Speaking of Bret Hart, right? His banner will forever be in the Calgary Saddle Dome, buds. And yeah, they hang the fucking pink and black attack here in Calgary in the Saddle Dome. So here we go. Let's check this out. There's no volume on this one, I guess. I'm not getting volume either, but here they're hanging the banner. Fucking A, the family's crying in that. So yeah, long live Bret Hart, one of the GOATs. Satoshi Kojima has a benign tumor removed from his head. So a benign meaning like it's benign, it's menial, or is that the right word? Trivial is not the right word because it's a fucking tumor, but it's benign. It's like it wasn't anything. It wasn't like cancerous or anything, but like you don't want that shit there, you know? So it's good he got rid of that. Shadow Kojima still doing the damn thing. Saraya will be at WrestleCon as well. I made a joke. So this is the clusterfuck match in GCW. There's like 40 fucking people in this match, and it's called the clusterfuck or whatever. And I made the joke. I was like, holy shit, I think I'm booked in this thing. But yeah, there's lots of people in this thing. Like, I don't know, dude. Paul London, Megan Bain, you know, Tremont, Masha Slamovich, the Invisible Man. So they're going to do Invisible Man spots. Zeta Steel, who's WWE ID'd, is going to do Invisible Man spots. The Warlord. Yeah, just a bunch. Cheeseburger. All right. So, Chili's. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back. So fucking this guy posts, I don't go to Chili's to play around. I go to Chili's to be better than everyone else. Now, me, dude, I've been eating so clean. Fuck. I'm going to crush a bunch of food like that Mania weekend here. Legit. And possibly even have a margarita. And then Mance Warner goes, after this week is done, this is where I will break bread. Thank you, Chili's. And then even Jacob Fatu responded and was like, bro, we're going to link up again. You know, I don't think I bookmarked it, but he's like, dude, we're going to link up again. Like, we'll be in town together. We'll hit it together. And then Warner's like, yeah, brothers back together again or whatever. And then Chili's responds and goes, we'll be delighted to welcome you. Best of luck versus Kenta. Dude. And then Blue Meanie says, after I go to Chili's, they are simply known as Chili. Pretty funny. Guys, we have Samantha Irvin music to check out. Now, we're going to get fucking stricken. I've been getting hit so hard with strikes. I'm going to check in with chat. Don't worry. I've been getting hit so hard. Not strikes, guys. That's just like the layman's way to say it, but like flags, right? So I just clip it out. It's no big deal. But it's been happening so much with music. But we have to, okay? We can't not, for one reason alone that you guys will understand. And biscuit for the biscuit here at PWT, okay? Now, I talked about this with Alfred Konowa on PWT podcast episode 92. Pardon me, it dropped this morning. And we talked about it a little bit, how, you know, she's not the best at singing. She's not the best at dance. She's really exceptionally talented in all these areas, right? But she's not like the best. I'm sure she's not the best flute player in the world, right? But she was the GOAT commentator. Or not commentator, pardon me, ring announcer. Sorry, I've had a long one, broadcasting a bunch today and last night. But she you know, she like found her footing to where people in a short period of time were like, you're the GOAT in this area. And she's already had these doors of like music career and stuff slammed in her face. So it seems weird that she kicked down this unexpected door after other doors shut in her. And then she's like, no, I'm going to go run through these other doors now. And I'm not ever going to hate on anybody's like success or doing what they love or want to do. I'm never going to hate on that. You know, the music industry's real cutthroat, and she was goated in her ring announcing area. So, like, according to many, but I just want to play this. It's actually a really good song. The video's actually really good. It's not some hacky, cheesy, it's not like Nikita Lyons type shit. No, man, you know, even Layla Gray dropped a song's decent, but the fucking music videos, like, okay, there's 80 billion videos like this. So this is actually pretty unique, but she wanted to show all of her talents in this 5-minute thing. So she's showing off like her acting range, her singing, her flute playing, which is what. Okay. And so I'm going to share this tab over here. And go and check it out. Samantha the Bomb. Go and subscribe. Check her out. Give the music video a like. So she jumps out of bed. Then she's like making coffee with the thickness.
And babe, it ain't no surprise, because a man like you is just my type. Lighten me and say.
So watch the dancing, no music. It's like, you know, she's just showing off with the thickness, right? And it's just some love making tunes, you know, that's all it is.
Oh, in bed, get that, get it. Shawty wanna feel it, shawty won't believe, shawty won't believe it. Shawty wanna get it, shawty wanna get back.
So the best part though is this, man. Check this shit out, man. Check this shit out. And she blocked me on X too. We should be friends, man. We're fucking flute players, bro. What's going on? She's trying to show off every talent in one thing when she was already good at the thing. Oh God. She's like, let's see Beyonce do this while she's dancing. Next thing, Ron Burgundy slides out from underneath the fucking couch. Oh, and then she twerks the thing. Like, come on, bro. You know what I mean? I ain't mad at it, but it's like, damn, she had to throw that in there. Like, she threw everything. Look, I got the thickness, I got the twerking, I got the acting, I got the flute playing, I got the dancing, I can sing. It's like, yo, this ain't a resume, you know?
So exciting when you
And I'm not hating on it, man. Like, she's fucking super talented, right? But, yeah, that flute solo, I mean, we're going to have to definitely put that in my next video. We're going to have to get her dancing with the flutes. Has to become a GIF or a meme or something, guys. Someone on X, please clip that up. Jesus Christ, man. Okay, let's check in with chat, and then we will continue along with some more hot news here. Yeah, let's share that again. And yeah, we'll check in with chat. That's so funny. We do have some TNA stuff, but I do want to check in with chat first. Only a couple TNA news is. So TK Mark for 2 says PWT was for Pro Wrestle Thirsties in chat on Monday. Yeah, the T for Thirstcast. Yeah, everybody was thirsting on Monday. And no Thurston, no Brandon, right? All right. Chris McCarty for 2 says FBI or Giovanni return to help the family. Gabagoo or JD makes a run in. Oh, with my Uncle Dice. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I don't know if I'm going to review NXT tonight, but because there's just so much to get to. But yeah, definitely Stand and Delivers coming up. George Capture. So there's like 400 motherfuckers watching. There's like 200 watching on the Clip channel. Run those fucking likes up to 100 or Jericho's doing a run-in. Sorry, you guys could hear that echo because I'm having a hard time controlling the volume of my voice. No. Another great Canadian bit there. Yeah, shout out Samantha Irvin. Someone's got to just clip her dancing to like the Harry Potter music or something for me. So over in TNA news, Joe Hendry will throw out the ceremonial first pitch at Aviators LV game on Tuesday, April 15, ahead of TNA Unbreakable later in the week, along with his appearance at WrestleMania World. So shout out Joe Hendry. This happened a while back, so that's how long this news has been sitting in here. But yeah, Jakar Jackson versus Danny Luna went down already. So earlier this year, this is according to Fightful Gossip, who knows if it's true or not, but earlier this year there was an idea to have Joe Hendry appear on Raw, Ariel Schnerner didn't agree with the creativity, which likely would have seen Hendry taking a loss. One of the ideas was that it would be a catalyst for a feud with The Miz. Now, TNA does talk to like Fightful a bunch, bro, as far as like they have legit sources because they don't care if their news is out there. Like it doesn't really fuck anything up. Like, you know, they've just accepted the position that they are in the pecking order of things, and it's only benefited them, right? And so I said it too. Like, if this is true, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt here. I said it like you can't really do Hendry, especially when he has the title like in a match on the main roster against randomly The Miz or Orton or anything, because then he has to fucking lose. And then what does that say? Like Orton's got to show up and go, hey, I want the world title. Now Hendry's been saying, I want John Cena and I'm going to manifest that. With Cena on a heel run, I mean, that could be crazy if he like beat the TNA world champion when he's world champion or something. I mean, that could go pretty hard body maybe for heat, but what does that do for Hendry? And, you know, you have to understand, like WWE's looking at him like, oh, we want him and we're getting him. And TNA's like, well, we got to protect him too. And WWE's like, we can't have him, you know, we're not going to push him to the moon right away, but even us, like, we don't want to just show him only losing to our tippy top guys, you know, because like he gets these pops and shit at the Rumble and everything. So I don't know. It's like a weird predicament to be in, but either way, Joe Hendry will thrive. I believe in Joe Hendry. There were at least 3 unannounced international signings under contract with TNA. They are looking to bolster its roster with fresh global talent. Okay, well, where's that one fucking girl you signed last year or the year before and you haven't done shit with the pink hair or whatever? She was an international signing. You guys didn't do anything with her. So hopefully TNA gets their shit together, pal. And that, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for light news tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I think we'll get Randy's opponent here. I'll check in with Chad again. Let me just get set up here. But as far as Randy's opponent, I think we'll get it announced. Either it'll, well, obvious. This is the obvious thing, but it'll either be on SmackDown or at WrestleMania. Now, Alfred Kunua and I, fantasy marked book. I've had a long one, man. It's fantasy bookmarked. Okay, we'll call it that. Okay, where's my dummy? I'm gonna give myself a fucking dummy. Wake myself up. Dummy, yeah. We fantasy booked his opponent for Mania, and we were both sort of on the same page, and it's fucking awesome. I hope they do our idea. The truth is out there. So also Dynamite, hey, I should get that on the TV. It is this big event, I suppose, correct? Oops, I accidentally clicked on Rumble. So chat me up, chat, and run those likes up to 100 so fucking Chris Jericho doesn't run in. Yeah, I just got to pull up Dynamite here. And then I'm checking in with you guys, and then we are going to get into news. We might do sickos a little, or maybe we can just do news, do sickos after. Have you guys been watching Dark Side of the Ring? I haven't watched any of them. I'm just going to like binge them all one day, you know, like after Mania. I'm just going to sit and binge them all when I'm like, oh, I need more like unique wrestling stuff. You know, all the Mania feels are gone. Oh, Dark Side of the Ring, you know, I'll just dive in. Okay, here we go. Dynamite. The We Beat fucking Eric Bischoff show. What a dead ass product when that's what they're doing, man. For real, like you couldn't have any less hype when you have to have Kenny Omega going, we're restoring the feeling again. And then you're like, oh yeah, we're beating fucking Bischoff, dude. It's like, who gives a shit? Is this shit even on tonight or what? Yeah, it is here. Okay, sorry about that, chat. Yeah, so cast to my fucking television. There we go. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that, guy. You know what they say, right? Yeah. Okay. So Yushin FX has been a member for 2 months. Seems we just need some Jericho tonight. Yeah, I'll give you guys one more segment, and if we don't hit it, then I'll hit it. You know what I mean? So waiting for the episode of AEW's Death for Darkseid. Oh, come on. Phil is going to subject us to Samantha Irvin and Chris Jericho singing. That doesn't seem very fair, Eric. I've been watching Darkseid. I'm such a documentary mark. Yeah, me too. That's why I get disappointed when I finish a Darkseid and then I have to wait. So I'm glad that they just piled up on me without it. Like, there's never been a void where I'm like, oh fuck, because like I can't even keep up with greatest moments and shit right now, bruv. But I am catching LFG. I'll never miss that shit. 85, they jumped up. Darkseid has been excellent. Good. Yeah, I saw even a clip came on automatically just on my normal YouTube plays, right? Like it'll just auto plays on. And Jim Cornette was talking about Vader, and I had to switch it off because I was like, I don't want spoilers. I don't want, because that's another fun part of Darkseid. You go and listen to Jim's reaction after, and yeah. Okay, we're looking at nothing. We are looking at nothing. And Swan Man Hunter gifted a membership. So you guys can gift memberships or you can become a member. You goddamn self. Okay, so let's get into. Yeah, see, we have to do the news then sickos because some of the sickos is reacting to the fucking news. You guys know what I'm saying? So chat, let me know. Do you guys want AEW or WWE news first? Chat's going to tell me. And yeah, you guys vote or let me know as Dynamite starts. AEW news or WWE news. Let me know what you guys want. Chat saying AEW, AEW, AEW. AEW, WWE. Well, run those goddamn likes up to 100, shall we? God, Excalibur's unbearable. Okay, yeah, I think we should get into some WWE. Some AEW, rather. That's what you guys wanted. I'm just zoning out here. Listening to Excalibur. But yeah, let's do some AEW first while we're on the topic of it all, you know, and then we'll figure out who the wild card is tonight. And 11 more likes. Do I give him till the end of the sickos? I don't know, George. I don't know. I don't know if we give him till the end of fucking AEW news. It's a hefty one, so here we go. We're gonna share this tab, but before we play an Ichi Nissan, the Sia Oa is coming out, and we're gonna cover her later tonight. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us on the show, because we're not at 100 likes, Chris Jericho.
I look and see it's not just me. So many others have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spent our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Let me get wild. Yay!
There you guys go. Here we go. So Creighton Rabs for 5 says it's Wednesday night. You know what that means. Slamming sickos, Meltzer flutes, and outright mayhem with Phil and PWT live. That's right, dude. And it is Wednesday too. Also Rusev Day. So how about that? See, Athena got no pop, man. Fucking, I just feel so bad. But yes, Creighton, thank you for the super chat and for selling the game there for the folks at home. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's do a quick Ichi ni Sanda. Because it is time for AEW news. So, Drain Bamager says, according to sources, AEW Dynamite on Max is averaging around 60 million minutes watched per show, with a deviation of plus minus 10 to 20% depending on the episode in competition. The minutes watched averages to 500,000 views per episode live, plus minus one, meaning it takes into account viewers who watch live on the app and 24 hours afterwards. And he's quoting BJ Bethel, which that shit's been debunked, and he's a fucking moron. And then his shillingness was fucking exposed here, right? BJ Bethel shilling was fucking exposed the other day or today. But MJ from NJ goes, report, New Japan getting closer to an agreement with WWE, sources the internet. So, I mean, goddamn, I said this on my end of the year show. I said it. I was like, my prediction for 2025 is that New Japan doesn't explicitly say, hey, we're done with AEW, but they're going to say, hey, we are, like, we're just open to working with whoever, you know? And that'll mean WWE in some capacity. I made that fucking prediction. I talked about it a little before that. I've been harping about New Japan ever since the end of the year shows there. As I talked about before, New Japan solo show with no AEW guys outdrew the super show with fucking, you know, AEW guys as we watch Mone and Athena roll around. So basically, Jeff, he pieces together all this stuff. Everything we've gone over, right? Like you have The Rock here looking at the New Japan thing. The logo on this sticker. Someone told me Rubik's Cubes put an official sticker like their own on there. So that's what that is, I suppose. Here we covered this, right? They're getting rid of the New Japan commentary. I don't know why that was in Miscellaneous, right? That should have been in AEW news. But yeah, for those of you who didn't catch that, for the clip form, the English language AEW or Japanese, commentary is gone for New Japan World. They're just sticking with the English language stuff. This dude says, I would also like to point out that AEW's partner promotion Stardom has matches against WWE wrestlers. I'm not seeing the Marigold wrestlers at all. Interesting that one company was called the Feeder and that its owner was blamed for funneling wrestlers into WWE. And yeah, it's because Stardom don't want none with fucking AEW either. And then New Japan president Hiroshi Tanahashi says he is envious of the way WWE is able to develop talent. So it's just a matter of time, man, right? We got to get those crossovers. We got to see LA Knight in Japan because people are like, oh, he couldn't wrestle. Jey Uso couldn't wrestle in Japan. And then he goes over there and Hulk Hogan's it, brother, you know? So interesting stuff to say the least. We'll keep our eyes on that. I called it out a long ass time ago, though. So yeah, just go back and look up like Pro Wrestle Clips New Japan, and I'm sure you'll hear me saying like they got to just work with WWE, like they want to expand in America, right? And AEW's just hurt their chances in America, in my opinion. So update, more information, incoming sources say that Abema, which has had the partnership with WWE, is actually a joint venture of TV Asahi. TV Asahi is notably very involved in AEW and has several seats on the board as well as ownership in New Japan, which has had the partnership with WWE. Okay. So I don't know, man. I guess like everybody's dabbling in the same shit. Like even in the UK, WWE was on TNT or whatever the fuck out there, you know, like that's always going to cross over in the entertainment world. That being said, I don't know. MJ will keep an eye on it and we'll react to it. I don't know what to make of all that personally. I'd have to like really fucking go in on like, hey, who owns what and what does that mean? And they had a relationship. So what was the capacity of that relationship, right? So WBD releasing the Last of Us numbers, but we haven't heard anything about the sloppy shop AEW. I wonder why. Per WBD, The Last of Us Season 2 premiere averaged 5.3 million viewers across all platforms, linear views on HBO, replays and streaming on Max. Shout out Jedi Goodman. And yeah, so Max has been releasing numbers for a bunch of shit. So Dave and everybody, they just look so fucking stupid, especially after these meltdowns, because they're releasing numbers for all their impressive shit. So obviously AEW is not that impressive. It's just that simple. And Heel Uzi is being accused of being Kylie Ray. And everyone's like, oh, Kylie Ray follows every Heel Uzi account or some shit. Yeah. Maybe Heel Uzi's like nice behind the scenes, right? Like really fucking nice to people. I don't know. Maybe some people have argued with him behind the scenes. I don't know. He's really nice. Or did I say Kaylee Ray? I meant to say Kylie Ray. Whoever I said. There's so many wrestlers with similar names these days too. I think Kaylee Ray's like another, or that's like a singer or some shit. I don't remember, but or Carly Rae Jepsen or some shit. I don't know. Where's my Luger, right? I don't know, but Kylie Ray, right? She's the smiley one, right? Now I'm second guessing. Maybe it was Kaylee. I don't know. It's Kylie Ray, right? So she follows like all the multiple Heel Uzi accounts because he keeps getting banned. So obviously Uzi's doing something, or if he's mass reported, maybe they just flag him. But he's really nice to me behind the scenes. And I'll tell you this much. Heel Uzi follows me every time and makes sure he's like, dude, follow me back. Like he makes sure whenever he gets a new account. Kylie Ray's never followed me. So, you know what I'm saying? Like that, you think that if it was Kylie Ray, I'd at least get a follow from her. If Uzi's like, dude, you got to follow me every fucking time he's got a new account too, right? So connect those dots, folks. Like, come on. Maybe he was just really gave her support and said something that in a time when she needed it, and y'all don't know that shit. She's like, oh, fuck. Maybe she finds it funny. Maybe she detests AEW because of what happened to her there, which, of course, I don't know. It's just pure speculative. But the dirt sheet speculated on it, and a bunch of people have, and the whole NDA thing. And Jericho hasn't done a fucking press conference since. Right? So that's all I'm saying. Here we go. Moving along. So the belief, according to Wrestler Observer, and we'll get into this more and more, but Dave says the belief within AEW is Mariah May is heading to WWE, while people within WWE know she wants to join the company. May's AEW contract is believed to expire later this year. It's all believed. Right? This ain't Joe Hendry, bro. This ain't Bo Dallas, Dave. Fucking, what are you talking about? Who believes this? What are you talking about, man? And he goes, people close to May said, you know, Brian, prior to her signing with AEW, that her dream is WWE, said this. So this is what he's trying to do. And then he doubles down on this later, which we're going to cover, right? Dave says, people close to May said that her dream is WWE. And then he doubles down later, and we're going to cover it and laugh at it and play flutes, right? And he goes, I spoke to people we spoke to in WWE say whatever. That's not, it's all a lie. Dave's completely lying. He saw the social media posts on Twitter like everybody fucking else did. Okay. And he sees all the tweets resurfacing now. Like I retweeted one of her saying like, I want to wrestle in 2022. She's like, I want to wrestle Rhea Ripley and shit. And people were pointing out like she was a stan, marking out over like WWE, like the bad WWE stuff. It's been her dream to go there. So Dave just saw the Twitter shit. Then he goes, I talked to someone in WWE, and people I spoke to in AEW said he never spoke to anybody anywhere.
Tell us what you know, you goddamn liar!
He just saw it on X like everybody else. Okay? So don't let these fools fool you. So AEW has filed to trademark Paragon. Paragon. Isn't that a Pokemon or something? Which is the new name for the group of Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. AEW previously fired the trademark Paragon all the way back in 2022 when there were plans to rename the group that ended up not happening until now. Why didn't you rename them instead of Undisputed Bullshit? Why didn't you just rename them from the jump? What the fuck, man? Tony's endgame is let's rematch Okada and Omega from New Japan when they're both old and phoning it in. Let's put Undisputed Era together. Let's make Samoa Joe in a trios. with fucking jobbers. No, but like, let's put them in a trios and let's let Moxley have the title in a briefcase for and let's get a Harley Graham. Let's get Harley Cameron in a mask stat. And Athena, you're not allowed on TV till the very last second. Fucking stupid, man. So yeah, they've trademarked Paragon. Who gives a shit? Moving along here. Tony Khan just revealed the brand new ROH Women's Pure Championship after Dynamite just ended in Springfield. The first champion will be crowned at Supercard of Honor pay-per-view next month. So Tony's adding new women's what? He's adding new mid-card women's titles to Ring of Honor after Dynamite goes off the air. What is he doing?
The best guys, Tony Khan.
It's great.
Oh my God, man. A pure title. This is why. Oh, I know. Athena will now win the pure title after she loses to Mercedes. And, you know, because neither title's on the line tonight, folks. Don't be shocked if Mone loses this one to Athena. But then that means she's getting it back at All In. Tony Khan says constructive feedback about the AEW product can be really helpful, you know, if it's AIR Gold or you know, if it's any of the Goof Troop, Drain Damager, or you know, Elboo's cool. Well, he's kind of cool. I kind of got mad at him though. But he's boys with MJF, so I have to be friends with him.
This is great.
It can be helpful, you know, if it comes from Dave Meltzer. But if it's Jim Cornette, then it's definitely a no-no.
Thank you, fuck you, bye, boom.
So, there was a rumor making the rounds within days of Mariah May's program with Tony Storm ending that May had requested a release from her AEW contract. So now, like, listen, I don't know if this is true. The dirt sheets could just be making all this shit up. She's so young and she's been signed there long enough. She doesn't need to request a fucking release, right? Some people are saying, oh, Mariah May's just playing both sides to get a huge bag. Yeah, maybe, but here's the only hole in that. Go on Twitter right now, type in Mariah May WWE and go look at for the years, man, and her marking out over like shitty WWE stuff. And she's like, what, 23? So we're talking in her teen years, probably before she's just training and shit, right? And she's probably planning out, like, I got to get to Japan and learn how to do this the right way and da-da-da, because I don't care what anybody says. Stardom, Girls in Stardom and Marigold and that Rossi Ogawa guy that she dealt with, he knows how to make stars that are like, they make television, sports entertainment people as well as hard-hitting combatants, right? So Mariah May, her dream has been WWE like through and through. Dave's making this shit up. It's not like the source is close to her. Go on her Twitter and look it up. Before she was in AEW, even right up until she was in AEW. She's tweeting about, I fucking want to wrestle Rhea Ripley. Oh my God, this thing with Roman, this. Oh, this, I jumped out of my seat for fucking like Sheamus. Whatever, right? Like, she's a fucking mark. She's a wacko. And she loves Triple H especially. Triple H is like one of her favorites of all time. Check her Twitter way before Tony Khan was even a thing to levy against anyone. So, yeah, that's part of it. She's going to get a bit of a boost in salary from WWE, but they're going to say the same thing that they said to Stephanie Vaquer. Listen, man, you just made, how much did you make, Mariah? Over $500K each year? Or like, what did he have you on? You made $300K each year? You were there for 3 years or whatever? 2 years? Fucking listen. We're not going to pay you that much, but you're going to fulfill your dream. You see Stephanie Vaquer? Yeah, you're taking that after her. Or you see that Zarya chick or Jordan Grace that we're building up, right? Like, that's you are in that picture right after. So, you know, Oh, that women's intercontinental title, that's you one day, you know? So if you want to fulfill your dreams and make more money in the long run, then yeah, you're going to come here. And I mean, she made the bag with Tony Khan while she could, and it's smart business, and she elevated, right? So WWE will give her a bit of a bump, and then Tony will offer more and offer to pay the hotels and everything. And they'll ultimately lose Mariah. I truly believe that, because her dream, I was reading the tweets. I went back, I retweeted the one about Rhea, because it was so like, it was like right on the cut. It was like in 2022, mid 2022 or whatever. She's tweeting about, and it's like, how long has she been in AEW? Like 2-3 years. So it's like right then she's still marking out about WWE. So, here we go. Let's move along here. Phil Brooks's toupee says, so John Moxley can be subbed into the Death Riders to defend the trios titles, but they couldn't do the Freebird rule for Bullet Club Gold. Exactly. Someone should be hired to sort out the internal logic of the show, man. Well, that was supposed to be Will Washington's job.
You fucking mark!
And that's the problem. Like, a Twitter guy shouldn't say that, have to say that. And the fact that this guy said it, now Tony won't listen to it. Look it, here's some of the tweets I was just bibbling and babbling about. Not like this, like, look it, dude. Baron Corbin with FTR and Ziggler during that phase, and she's invested. Not like this, not like this, never before. Right? And then she makes her sad face or whatever for that. You know, the porta potty stuff with Baron Corbin and Roman Reigns, dude. The dog food stuff. The fans chanting "holy shit" was not lost on me. This is in 2020. Like, she's a fan, dude. She was like 18. I'm not ready. Okay, look at Visionary Rollins. Where's her Triple H stuff? I bet you I bookmarked a Triple H one. She goes, I'm geeking over the graphics. This is so cool. These fucking shitty graphics everyone hated. She loved them. How old is Mariah May? This is 5 years ago. Right? So she was like 18 tweeting this shit out. 17 or whatever the fuck. You guys get it? And like, you know, this guy goes, oh yeah, Mariah May is jumping ship. She was there in the trenches. This guy's like, stop it, please. This guy's like, we just got to let it happen. There's nothing we can do. Live streaming 2K20. Yo, she's such a fan. She was live streaming the worst wrestling game ever made in the history. 2K20. Okay? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? But the fact that they're like, oh, there's nothing we can do, man. It's like, okay, guys, calm the fuck down. It's such a gross, weird parasocial relationship you guys have with these fucking AEW wrestlers. So AEW streaming viewership on Max now looks even more suspicious. So basically, Ringside News say, do you think AEW is underperforming on Max and just doesn't want anyone to know? Yes, that's all it is, man. That's all it fucking is. Okay. And basically Ringside News and everybody's piecing together how they're releasing the numbers for everything. And if they're doing these numbers that Bethel and Meltzer fucking trying to talk, because Meltzer's like, it's more like 200,000. But it's like, dude, no, because they would tout, oh, look, we did like 1 million then, or whatever the fuck they're trying to say. It's all dumb. And so, yeah, they're just being hidden. That's all it is. And Tony doesn't deny them, but he doesn't outright accept them either. It's just sort of like, yeah, I heard that too, kind of. And then it's not a lie. It sort of is. It's embellishing the truth or lying by omission. But hey, what do I know? So then Phil Brooks Toupee responds to fucking AEW, who posts like, Garland, AEW kicks off a historic All in Texas week with back-to-back nights of professional wrestling, etc. And then Phil Brooks Toupee goes, yo, this is fucking disgusting. $450 tickets, and it doesn't even go through Ticketmaster. Last time AEW was at this venue, I got front row seats for $150. Good fucking luck. And yeah, man, AEW is trying to gouge, and they think they're going to get away with that. Next week's Dynamite, they haven't even sold 2,000 tickets yet. And they don't understand that this is just killing markets. And this crowd is just sitting on their fucking hands for this match because they don't give a fuck about Athena, dude. And they for sure don't give a fuck about Mone. But Athena hasn't even been on television. They're going to give her a 45-minute match. Tony Khan's back there going, oh, I like it. It's great. So Tony Schiavone confirms that Pac is unable to compete following his injury on Dynamite. John Moxley is now recognized as the interim AEW Trios champion alongside Wheeler Yuta and Claudio Castagnoli. Terrible fucking booking. Here's the updated Nielsen gauge, right? So Warner, before on the other Nielsen chart that we had, this identical one, Warner was just labeled as Max. Now it's just labeled as Warner. Right. And I'm telling you right now, listen, Phil Marks out, check it out. But I've also worked in and around, like I've written some scripts. I've done some things, right? In and around some TV, some movie. You guys know that if you've listened to the pod for a long time. I'm telling you, bruv. Like if Warner Bros. Is even a company in the next decade, I would be shocked. You know, I hope they are, right? I'm not hoping they go anywhere. But I'm just telling you, like, don't be shocked. Like, if in 5 to 10 years there's no Warner Bros. Or it's like not what it was. Maybe they keep the name, whoever swoops in to save it or whatever the fuck. But, you know, if the DCU fucks up that shit, like, they're going to sell that shit to Netflix or Disney or something. You know, like, Warner Bros. Is going to sell that shit off because they're just banking on these, like, Minecraft and Batman and shit. That's all they got. Okay? And so, but overall, Warner Bros. All lumped together. So, and there's an asterisk there. So we're going to read it. The star. So the Disney star includes viewing on Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, Hulu, right? And they're up there with 5%. Netflix is at a 7.9. YouTube up there, man. Up in the numbers, 12%. Netflix, I think, taking a little bit of a dip. Okay. Since the other chart. But Warner, now that it's all lumped together, the asterisk is Warner Discovery includes viewing on Discovery Plus and Max. So it's both of them combined, right? And they have a slight increase now, like a 1% extra, or 0.1, sorry, not 1%, a 0.1 extra boost, right? However, this time, they're combining Discovery Plus in there with Max. The last chart we looked at, the last one they released was just Max. So no one's pointing that out. I'm a dumb fuck. Usually I need MJ from NJ to point that shit out for me. But there you go. Bickety boom. I spotted it and I'm able to call it out. So it's not like that's an increase, I would say. It's not like we can go, oh, look, there's evidence of an increase, because no, they're now adding Discovery Plus on the Nielsen. So if I'm curious if Meltzer and them were just looking at Max and then they're looking at the numbers now, recently, and this is for March, by the way, the one we had before was for April, but I wonder if like Bethel and Meltzer and them were looking at this as well and seeing the increase with Warner Bros. Lumping it together for Nielsen. And if they knew that and purposefully didn't elaborate on that or break it down the way I just did and pointed it out. Look, it's in the fine print. It's in the liner notes. You guys can see it right there. Right. So I wonder if they purposefully misconstrued that, or if that's part of their long reports or whatever that I didn't, dive into. I'm curious, but we'll keep that in there until the next one comes out and we'll just keep track on that. It's Nielsen. It's what they want to use. Right. So we can just look at that. So moving along about the numbers, we're talking numbers, B. Max keeps their numbers real close to the vest. I mean, right here, the White Lotus. And look at, again, dude, they're showing the minutes streamed. So when Dave's on about like the key demo on TV, it's everything in TV. Yeah, but it's not like if you factor in streaming. When you factor in streaming, it's nothing in TV in comparison, unless you're like a major fucking sport, unless you're drawing millions, but yeah, they're flexing the White Lotus right there. Everyone loves that fucking show. Also, Big number 10M. Max's critically hailed drama, The Pit, is also resonating with viewers. The streamer says the show's first season, which concluded April 11, is averaging 10 million viewers per episode worldwide. That's fucking crazy. And then look at what else they're touting. Up to 16.2 million, like after the premiere. So throughout the week and shit. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. They're looking at all this shit Meltzer never talks about. So by Meltzer's own fucking math, it's like NXT's doing 2 million every time on Netflix because he's not factoring in like NXT will be like number 2 or 3 or 4 on Canadian Netflix as well and all over the world. And no one talks about, well, the NXT numbers on Netflix, if you add those internationally, they're not even talking about that because that would just completely embarrass everyone. So it's funny how we get caught up like trying to dismantle their arguments instead of going, well, look, let's use your argument against you and go, okay, then what's NXT doing? If it's like number 4 in every country and it did like a fucking 700, sometimes 800,000 on regular TV. So it's, according to Meltzer, it's doing fucking 4 million or whatever, right? And of course, I'm just exaggerating for dramatic and comedic effect, but I digress. Moving along. Tony Khan says, thanks to you all. Tomorrow is a huge milestone. Wednesday night Dynamite becomes the longest running primetime wrestling show ever on TNT and TBS. It's a fantastic lineup befitting this huge occasion. So here's the thing. He can get away with saying this because primetime, right? So people, again, I said it at the top of the show. People keep saying, well, WCW Saturday night or whatever. Yeah, but that was in prime time technically, so it's all in the vernacular. They're carnies. I pointed out with Edge. I pointed out with everybody. It's all the way it's, you know, you have to look at what they're saying and not how they're saying it sometimes, you know, because the exclusion, it's just carny, you know, the exclusion of stuff, whatever. And Tony Khan, he's earned his carny card, I'd say, these 6 years, right? For the better part of a decade. He's been doing his best there. He wore a fucking neck brace to an NFL draft and then took a shot at a rival promoter. So that's as carny as it gets in my book. So this guy's like, it's a huge milestone. I doubt any of the AEW haters thought in 2019 that Dynamite would outlast Nitro. No, I fucking did for sure. I 100% did. But you're talking outlast Nitro. How is that a flex, man? How is that a flex? I just don't really understand how that's like a flex. It's a weird flex. You know, beat out TNA or WCW or something. Like, you fucking guys are worried about beating dead companies. That's not a good bar to get across. In my opinion, you should be putting yourselves over as like above and better than any of these other companies. And like, why would we focus on WCW so much, you know? And they could say, well, they're not, but they are, because Bischoff's always Dave's always melting down about Bischoff, and we know Tony Khan doesn't like Bischoff and shit. But this Aaron Loves Wrestling guy's like, congratulations, Eric Bischoff in the mud. So you going to really act like WCW Saturday Night never existed? Yeah, it wasn't prime time though. So hope Eric apologizes to you. Why would he apologize for having a fucking opinion, you pussies? This is why all these motherfuckers have these whack fucking wrestling podcasts. You know what I mean? That nobody's listening to. It's like, you guys have to be honest and give real fucking takes. An apology. He should apologize for giving a hot take, bro. It's what we're doing here. Like, hello, you're on the fucking internet, bro. Free seats are wonderful. This Joe Rowe, so she's sitting right in the front, or he's sitting right in the front, whoever this is. They're just handing out free seats. They always do that, though. They move you to the front. If you guys have ever been for like one of the Ring of Honor tapings, they're just like, everybody, come on down. So as announced by Fox Sports Mexico. So here's what they're doing with Fox, right? They have to leave the fucking country and then swerves on to something. But AEW will partner with CMLL to bring Grand Slam Mexico to the historic historic Mexico Arena in Mexico City on Wednesday, June 18th. This marks the first time an AEW event has ever been held in Mexico, which is awesome. But it's been pointed out, like, So now there's multiple Grand Slams per year, right? Like now Grand Slam is just like, we'll do these wherever, and then we'll do all-ins like and wherever, and like that's totally chill, but just Grand Slam now. So there's going to be multiple Grand Slams in 1 year. Is that what I'm getting? Like, is there regular Grand Slam and then, or is this just Grand Slam in, because isn't there a Grand Slam in Australia next year as well? Didn't they announce that? So Josh Alexander, in other AEW news, is debuting here in AEW, and he's the wild card for this matchup. And that's good shit, pal. It was believed. I had a good, strong feeling he was going to AEW because of the Maple Leaf Pro connection, and you guys will continue to see that flourish, right? So basically, Scott D'Amore's TNA left. Some stayed behind. Alexander's a Scott D'Amore guy. D'Amore pushed him to the fucking moon and back. Really gave him his career and shit. And so he can go to Maple Leaf Pro and do his thing there, and they have a working relationship. Maple Leaf Pro is just the Canadian, because here's the thing, TNA is sort of Canadian. It's owned by Canadians and shit. So I guess their rival promotion in Canada is Maple Leaf Pro now, and they don't run shows that often, but Josh Alexander will be able to float between both. His wife will probably get a job as well, and good for him. I mean, he's older. He's got some mileage. How would he fit in? You know, he'd wrestle Chad Gable over who's the Shooter brother gimmick, right? Like, where would he really fit into WWE? They have a bloated roster. Alexander in AEW, I think, is the right move for him in his career. To just make boatloads of Tony Khan money for him and his family, right? He's got kids, and he's got Maple Leaf that he's helping to develop with Scott D'Amore and shit. So, yeah, and they're working on sort of a feeder system for AEW, if you will. They've been AEW ID'd. So, again, though, the crowd just flat as shit because they don't give a fuck and they don't know who Josh is. And they pop for him for a second, but it is unfortunate. But, yeah, this is better than him like going NXT or some shit, right? And yeah, I hope this Mexico show is fun. I mean, it'll just be like a super indie show where a bunch of lucha talent wrestle a bunch of AEW talent, and I bet you Conan's show's AAA show around the same time will fucking outdraw it. You know, I almost guarantee the shit.
Conan!
Mariah May shares a quote to Instagram amid her AEW contract expiration. And she takes a picture out a plane window or finds some meme or whatever the fuck, whoever made this. And it says, you can't make the wrong decision because every decision leads you to where you're supposed to be. And, yeah, just letting the sickos know already, you know. Don't tell me I fucked up. So, again, Neckbeards, he points out the WWE Saturday night, but again, it just wasn't prime time, so they do have people beat there with that one. Saturday night was a lead-in. So, MJF had this to say. He says, what Nitro was able to achieve changed wrestling. I'm proud of the fact that, like Nitro, but longer, Dynamite has managed to give both fans from an entertainment standpoint and professional wrestlers from a fiscal standpoint an alternative. And to think none of this would be possible without me carrying the company solely on my back for all these years, you're truly welcome. Yeah, he's just healing. That's kind of cringe, though. I saw this, and I just couldn't wrap my fucking brain around it. Like, look at this. This is literally what they were doing. Like, Tony is so not interested in creating his own history. They're just much more interested in recreating other companies' old fucking history, man. And we've seen it so many times with spraying the ring with liquid. This picture right here. You know, MJF doing the Bret Hart thing. Just so many instances. Like, it's just cringe. They just made a random fucking AEW Continental belt and then gave him a Ring of Honor belt. He has the New Japan one. And then they compare it to what motherfuckers were doing back in the 80s and 90s. Like, I don't know, man. It's pretty crazy. So MJ from NJ says AEW became the home of rematches and redundancy, whether the matches took place somewhere else or in their own ring. According to the report, only 10% of AEW matches have been rematches in the last year, as per Wrestling Observer. Tony Khan reacted to this. This is a cool stat. I take a lot of pride as a booker that there are rarely matches on Dynamite, or rarely rematches on Dynamite, and that when there are, it's usually a very important story. Payoff like the Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa Lights Out match. Yeah, that was fucking years ago, buddy. You can't name something more recent than that, Tony, and it's your company? God damn it. And it's like, bro, you need people to touch more so they can fucking have better matches, so it's not sloppy shop all the fucking time. I don't get how Tony doesn't get that, man. Utterly insane. Moving along here. Layla Hirsch reveals that AEW ghosted her for weeks before letting her go / well, she says let go. Maybe her contract expired. I don't know. But she got ghosted
The best
again.
guys, Tony Khan.
So it's very much like we've seen with the boys and with now Layla Hirsch and Big Swole and Lexus King and Joey Janela and Ray Phoenix and Ricky Saints and so many names that we could fucking name over and over, that Tony Khan has just fucking decided he's going to ghost when their contract's coming up and just not talk to them. And it's like, Tony, at least just be like, we're not going to renew your deal or whatever. You know, we'll pay you for 90 days, dip out or whatever the fuck. You can go now. Maybe that's what Mariah May did. And she just asked, like, hey, can I just get out of my shit like you're doing for other people, like you did for Paige? I doubt that's the case, though. I think her deal is just coming up, you know. But with Layla, yeah, she got fucking ghosted, man. We need like a
The best guys, Tony Khan.
Motherfuckers who get ghosted. We need to run a tab, dude. So here we go. So Ricochet responds to Nick Khan, who is on this show, Squawk on the Street, CNBC, and Ricochet's like, oh man, these guys fucking suck. So I don't know what that's about, but he was like joking with Naomi after and shit, so I just really don't think he's being personal. I just think he's leaning into the heel shit. So Ridge Holland, this guy, or no, this isn't Ridge Holland, sorry. This is a guy whose name is Ridge Holland Julian Thunder Rosa. And he tweets out, Stephanie Vacker took this pic knowing she was going to stab her friends in the back. Meanwhile, you hear Stephanie's story, and she was in a hotel room crying and shit and refused to sign anywhere in Toronto in heat wave. But this guy's like, she chose to stab her friends in the back. This is the type of person these wrestlers are. I need Daniel Garcia and Mercedes Moné opinion on this because me personally, she doesn't deserve to be friends with me. So just like a sick fucking freak, man. Knowing she's going to stab her friends in the back. How the fuck do you know they were friends, you idiot? Here's a picture of Darby Allin on his way to climb Mount Everest, which is a thing that is going to happen. Wish him luck. Here's a picture of Taz, Peter Sinurcha, when he was 9 on Woodhaven Boulevard, Ozone Park. He enjoys bowling. Bruno Sammartino is his favorite wrestler. He likes good guys and anyone for pen pals. So there's Taz trying to find a fucking pen pal when he was a kid in the newspaper. Pretty cringe. So here is an awful, this was edited by Awful Wrestling, friend of the show. Here's an awful look at how AEW was formed. Enjoy. Yeah, and I love it. Awful. He took my notes on this too. He sent me like a little, not too long before he released it, just for people to see, or like for myself to see rather, and sort of just, you know, get a second opinion. And I made note of one thing, but also was like, but also don't listen to me if you don't want, you know, it's not a big deal, but he did. So shout out Awful. This music though, I just hope Awful shit isn't like copyright, you know. I'll just have to babble. So Cody Rhodes, so here's Kazarian drinking some Jack. On January 1, 2019, a video was uploaded to YouTube by the Being the Elite channel run by pro wrestlers Nick and Matt Jackson. It was titled The New Year's Elite, which featured a special announcement. The first shot is of mid-card wrestler Frankie Kazarian sitting at home smoking a cigar and waiting for bookings when a timer starts ticking. That's not what's happening though, right? So I hate to be that guy, but in the lore of Being the Elite, which I watched leading up and into AEW for a while, you know, that's not necessarily like, this is all fits into, I guess, the story that they tell on Being the Elite every week. And at this time, you got to remember Kazarian was playing a heel like in SCU, where they were just like, fuck every place and fuck the Elite, you know, SCU. And like they were doing their own shit. And so they're all home for Christmas or the holidays. And he's like not working. He's kicking his feet up right now. It's not like waiting for a booking, but obviously Awful's trying to be funny, you know, which he is. But one of the things, like, I don't know if they have. I'm sure some sickos will jump down Awful's throat, though, and be like, well, contextually, you know, like I'm doing right now. But I'm just telling y'all this so, like, you guys can see some sickos might jump on Awful for this. I don't know if they have, but they might point out, like, well, actually, you know, because he may get some of the info wrong as far as, like, contextually, even though he's trying to get a joke off. But, you know, motherfuckers can't take jokes these days, so. Kazarian looks around his couch and does a vaudevillain act in search of his phone, bumping his head on his own coffee table and cussing.
God damn it. Fuck.
Kazarian would take AEW's first unnecessary. At this moment, Kazarian finds his phone looking annoyed. Yes. Who sent the message? So this is hilarious here with the Being the Elite intro, but it's like, who sent the message? The whole thing is like, I don't know what he's trying to say with him looking disappointed. The whole thing was that like SCU didn't like the Elite or anyone else. They were like assholes, you know? So someone's going to point that out, or maybe I'm just giving them ammunition, but I'll play devil's advocate here. Like in kayfabe, it's a kayfabe thing, but Awful just cooks everyone here. This jack off. A sexual deviant, Marty Skrull. The empty-headed dumb fuck. Cody Rhodes is a registered trademark of World Wrestling Entertainment. Unauthorized use is strictly prohibited and may result in legal action. They don't call us TKO for nothing. Fucking hilarious. This wasn't in the cut that I saw. Two small kids cosplaying as indie wrestlers. And a literal who the fuck? Flip Gordon. Jesus Christ. Next, we see Christopher Daniels, another mid-card act, working his cardio. See, he's just burying these guys, no?
Husband, what are you doing? It's almost midnight. Get off that thing.
I gotta keep working out.
Frankie and Scorpio are in better shape than me. In 2019 is going to be a big deal for SCU.
Yeah, buddy, we'll see.
I got to keep going. 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes.
Tokyo, Japan, New Year's Eve. Yeah, I remember this, dude. Restore the feeling, bruv. I was like popping hard when all this happened back then, dude.
You can feel it. There's a hunger. There's a thirst. You guys want good pro wrestling.
Yeah, dude, that should have been right there. That's the grand finale. There should be no more AEW after the exploding super kick. Right? Like, yo, you just exploded his fucking head off, bro. That's the end of it. That's the end of AEW right there. You know, there's no fucking AEW anymore after that. It's crazy.
Our vision of what we think we can do with pro wrestling. Do you want more of this?
Even back then, the reaction was mixed.
What are you gonna do? What are we gonna do? Sign that contract?
Scorpio Sky, another unknown wrestler, is also in the video. Oh, come on now, awful.
You know, 2018 was the best year of my career. The best.
I see you.
Nick Jackson walks around completely unrecognized by the Tokyo crowd. Yeah. Holy shit. They think he's like an exchange student.
And in 29.
But to their credit, they proved Dave Meltzer wrong. Yeah. Well, hey, awful. To everyone else's credit, that ain't that hard to fucking
The best
do.
guy is Tony Khan.
No.
9 minutes, we sold 10,450.
The All In 2018 show was a success. Wrestlers from different promotions performing in one ring was a massive achievement. Yeah, they should have just kept it like this. They should have just did super shows called like AEW Double or Nothing every like 3 months or something, where you just bring in whoever the fuck you can get and bring in, you know? But Cody Rhodes agreed and bought in because he thought they were going to go sports entertainment and do like what WWE was doing.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, and new.
This would have been a great ending to a movie. But this is the pro wrestling business. Tokyo Dome, the countdown to the announcement.
It's almost time, guys.
Almost time.
Here we go. Are you guys ready?
Let's count it down.
3, 2, 1, and nothing. What about you guys? Hold on.
I remember, though, also when they revealed this, and I was like, AEW. I was like, yo, that's super unique. Like a wrestling fed AEW, you know, that's like mainstream instead of like WCW or WEW is what Tony Khan was going to call it. WEW. That's what he said in an interview, right? But so that the thing was nice, the AEW, but with the Elite, even myself as like a mark at the time, well, still Mark, Phil S. Marks, but like being super into this, I was like, oh, they put their own name in it? Like All Elite? Like that's their name though. You know, even I felt grossed out by that at the time. It was like, what the fuck?
Nothing? No, nothing. Literally nothing. What did we get these timers for? A black screen. What a bummer, man. Happy New Year.
That's why ECW was cool too. ECW. It's like, it's not like, oh, it's the WCCW or the WWF or whatever, you know?
Wait a minute. You guys try it again. Something just came in.
Try what?
Seriously, check it out. Holy crap. I see it. You see that? I see it.
Hangman, show us yours.
The group reveals their next pay-per-view event.
No, mine says something different.
And a new wrestling promotion, AEW. And I just remember thinking, oh, that's whack. They put the name in there, you know? But yeah. And it's weird that they all are like marking out, getting texts from like who? Tony? To be like, oh, we're investing in you. And
Never look back, no, never say die. Always attack with the warrior cry. Never look back, no, never
All Elite Wrestling was born.
retreat. Never look back, never
Under
say
new ownership. Coming up, God willing.
So what do you think? You guys think Hangman's going to be the first world champion? Will it be Pac? Could it be Cody?
Oh, come on. That's not very fair. To bring me up like that, awful wrestling, when I'm sitting here just trying to sell my stuff at savewithconrad.com. Oh, that's not very fair, Eric, to say that I wasn't a healthy size for a healthy AEW. I'm blocking out 2 cheerleaders.
Maybe it's one of the Young Bucks.
Fuck yeah. Round of applause for awful wrestling. Let me check in with chat here. Let me see here. Let me see. Black Slabs became a new member. Hell yeah.
Allegedly.
Hell yeah. Thank you. Memberships are 99 cents. Hit the like, hit subscribe. Consider becoming a member. Join Patreon. You can super chat in, all that good shit. MJG for 5 says, I watched this BTE when there was 7,000 views, like super early. I remember this episode very clearly. Awful made it better. Yeah. No, for sure. I just was curious. Like I told him, I was like, I think sickos are going to jump down your throat for like semantics. Like, oh, that's not what he was mad about. But I don't know if much of that happened. MJG. What's happening in chat, my guy? Good to see you. Darvin Ramat for 7. SGD says nothing. Tell me what you want to have said in chat, or if you're just supporting, that's cool. But you might have hit enter too quick, Darvin. So, yeah, just let me know if you have a question or something for me. Just put it in chat regularly, and someone will make me see it. I was watching BTE all through this. Thought he was goofy and fun. Conrad is the reason why I don't watch 83 Weeks. I'll admit I remember all of this. Yeah, 100%. Conrad with the 5X suits. Oh, man. And let me tell you about, I'm not going to say it because they don't give me money. I get offers to sell you guys like coffee makers and shit if you guys use my promo code and stuff. But I'm like, really, dude? You know? That's the only thing I've gotten, you know, but it's like, you know, I get a cut of selling y'all coffee makers. And then once you all have a coffee maker, where do we go from there? Right. You all probably already have coffee makers. This is the this guy says, I can't believe this match is still going. It was way too fucking long. Let me scroll down. I like coffee. Me too. I'm sipping a nice coffee right now. Yeah, pressed enter too quick, but it's fine. Consider to support. Well, you're a fucking, you're a gangster.
Are you sure about that?
Appreciate you, man. But yeah, if you have a question, just let it be known. So, I have some funnies. I have some Mercedes Mone that we're going to get into, okay? But lastly, we have, well, not lastly, penultimately, I guess. Meltzer said what? The GOAT. He goes off on BJ Bethel, who has some shit to say about Seth Rollins, which we'll get into in a bit. And Meltzer said what is just like, did the AEW troll stan hack blogger BJ Bethel ask Tony about the SA accusations against the Jacksonville Jaguars before he published the fake Max streaming numbers? No, he didn't. Sit your phony morality kindergarten playboy bitch ass down. And Meltzer said what doesn't really go off on people like that. But he's been snapping, and in the DMs too, he's like, bro, he's like, there's some of these guys where I have zero fucking patience for, and I'm like, yeah, fair enough. But yeah, Bethel's like freaking out because he's like, did Bill ask Nick Khan anything about the SH suits coming, or some of his clients have had, and how his name was popping up? Jesus, does anyone do their job? Like, BJ's some big fucking reporter. Just did the exact same boring kindergarten playbook every time. Yeah, this might be what that might be what Meltzer said. What DM'd to me, even, because sometimes he'll fucking grab what he said so he doesn't have to repeat it. Because when you're cooking like that, what are you gonna recook it? Reheat it up. But yeah, BJ's just a complete and utter fucking knobhead, pun intended. BJ, I barely knew her. I barely know ya. Oh, BJ, is that like your name, or is that like what you do? Oh, speaking of reheating, so yeah, I don't know, man. This guy's just a kooky man. So that should be in WWE news, more of that as well. Okay, so we have some Mercedes Mone, who just completely clowns Tony Khan on this Boston fucking show, and she's just become my impression of her. Okay, so here's the dude standing here with a TBS title. So he fucking bought a replica women's belt, right? And Mercedes Mone says she wants to retire within the next 10 years from pro wrestling. Let's take a listen.
Yeah. Where do you see yourself in wrestling within the next 5-10 years?
Ooh, 10 years?
Yeah.
What? Hopefully retiring by 10 years. I'm 33. I don't want to be doing this at 44. I don't think so, but we'll see.
Yeah. Where do you see yourself in wrestling within the next 5-10 years?
Ooh, 10 years?
Yeah.
What? Hopefully retiring by 10 years. I'm 33. I don't want to be doing this at 44. I don't think so, but we'll see.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, in 10 years, she should be done wrestling. That makes sense. But, she fucking just clowns Tony Khan more. So let's just continue. This might be a different show. I'm not entirely sure. Shout out MJ from NJ for clipping these up or whatever. And he goes, I don't know what's funnier, the guy's trolling her for her entourage, or the fact she throws Tony under the bus as paying for the entourage. Let me see here. Okay. MJ, yeah, there you go, buddy. Check your DM. Yeah, so anyways, thank you, MJ from NJ, or NJ from MJ. It's all, I've had a long ass day. Hey, what you say. So yeah, Tony the Kid Khan, like, here's her just basically having a laugh at like the fact that she's marked him in.
Absolutely.
Now, you are traveling with a massive entourage,
Yeah.
and some of them are filming you. Now, do they film everywhere you go?
Yeah, we need to capture every moment of the day. It's it's beautiful.
exhausting.
It's something that I want to look back at, knowing this
You can
journey
make your
that
own
I've been
documentary,
on.
too.
Absolutely. There you go.
Well, of course, she's making her own documentary. Now, are these your like childhood friends, or are these people that you picked
I
up
have
along?
my assistant. I have someone that helps me with my social media. I have my advocate here. I have
What's an advocate?
Wait, so she really does have a big ass team, an advocate, my social media, my this and that. And then it's like, she's sitting there like, did y'all hear what she just said? Hold on, let's back this up.
There you go.
Well,
making her own documentary. So what? The documentary culminates you leaving WWE and going to a fucking place where people don't make noise for you in empty buildings? Like, that's where the documentary ends? Is I finally broke a free to do Mandalorian season 3. Ooh, that's a good line. I'm actually gonna put that in my song. So it's a little crazy to me that she's like making a documentary. Everybody makes documentaries, but she's making her own doc, and it's like, what does it culminate? You being the TBS champion? What the fuck?
Oh, of course, she's making her own documentary. Now, are these your like childhood friends, or are these people that you picked
I
up
have
along?
my assistant. I have someone that helps me with my social media. I have my advocate here. I have
What's an advocate?
My name is Paul Heyman. No.
advocate. He's my number one person that advocates for me. He believes in me. He pushes me. He drives me, and he's there to lead me to my whole new light.
I gotta get one of those. So she's got a dude paid on her team that's just like, yeah, get it. Yeah, you can crush that workout. Yeah, don't be a bitch. You got this. You got it. You're the best. You're glowing. You're the boss. You know, that's crazy. Like an ego stroker, like a yes man, you know, just like hired to be there to just hype you up. Everybody needs a good hype man, you know, but I don't know. It's wild, man.
Bros. I've never heard.
Everybody needs an advocate in
On
their life.
staff. Now, do you pay these out of your own? Are these employees of
These
yours?
are my employees. Yes.
Oh, wow. That is impressive.
She just dumped her dude when she made all that money and left the fucking WWE, dumps her guy. Oh, fuck.
Thank you.
And they travel with you everywhere?
Everywhere I go.
Wow. Overseas, they will be in the UK.
They'll be in the UK with me. Yeah.
And the AEW doesn't pay for that.
So they go everywhere with her and everywhere. And she worked it into her contract that no matter where she goes in the world, they go with her, right? So this is a job where she hires them. But she worked it into her contract that Tony Khan pays for these motherfuckers. And she thought WWE was going to.
You what?
Like, this is what I'm saying.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
She thought WWE was going to fucking allow her to have this and a bus and her own writer and all this shit. It's just crazy.
You everywhere?
Everywhere I go.
Wow. Overseas, they will be in the UK.
They'll be in the UK with me. Yeah.
And the AEW doesn't pay for that. You pay for that.
No, we have AEW help us with that. Thank you so
Okay.
much, Tony Khan. We appreciate you. We
Tony
love you.
Khan, who is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And-
Oh my God. MJ, are you hearing this shit, my guy?
The best guys, Tony Khan.
This was so funny. There are other clips where they troll her even more. She walks in.
I apologize. I accidentally played the audio. Yeah, we're going to, because they're trolling her, bro. Like, they start laughing at Tony Khan, and she laughs along with them.
Well, she walks in and they're like, "Why are you overdressed?" And she goes into this whole promo about money. And the guy's like, "I just want to make friends." Like, he trolls her so hard.
Oh my
Anyway,
God.
this was a gift. Yeah, somebody sent this to me.
MJ from MJ, that's what they say about the Sia Ia Oa, the gifta that keeps on giving to wrestling.
She
Here we go.
Tells them yeah, go ahead. Play them later.
I was just gonna say, let's play these fucking clips that you clipped up for us here, brother.
Yeah, play them.
Somehow ingratiated himself into the world of wrestling.
But then undid it all by saying Mone as opposed to Mane.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mane, which is good to know. He effed it up.
Mone, so fine.
Yeah, he did.
That should have been her theme. I said, yeah. He's
paying for everything else.
Me feel. That'd be better than the bullshit she has now. You know what I mean?
That would be better than the bullshit they gave us with "I'm so excited."
Yeah, I'm so excited. The last one.
Elton
one
John,
week.
like, just go for it. Money.
Oh man.
Dude, get you on the phone.
Exactly. How?
Okay, I have a question. Okay, so Mercedes Monet. Money.
We call it money.
Money.
Because
Thank
I
you.
like
It's
to
the
make
same
that
mistake.
money.
I apologize. I'm going to screw it up, man. And it's no disrespect.
But what do you like to make? Do you like to make money?
Friends.
Oh, okay.
Do you like to make money? God, it's literally my impression.
Fellowship.
That's nice.
Money.
That's nice. The
become a
Sia
character
Ia
of herself.
Of wrestling. And then she says wrestling like Vince Russo, but then adds an at the end.
Means nothing to me. That's
Money
why I'm in
means
radio.
everything to me. Money changes everything.
It does. It does.
Money changes everything.
Especially when you get divorced, you give lots of it away.
Oh, yo, come on. Yo, that's a dig for sure. No?
I have no idea. I don't think they know who she is, but that's just so, like, they don't know what they've gotten into with wrestling. I was wondering if someone would reach out because I tagged them and clipped and like linked their video. I felt bad. I was like, I don't know if these guys know what they're getting into, but this is content gold.
Amazing.
It's everything to me. Money changes everything.
It does. It does. Especially when you get divorced, you give lots of it away. AEW Dynamite. And somehow.
Oh man. Oh my God. That seems like a troll to her, in my opinion. But we'll continue.
Performing and wrestling against Athena, who is the long.
Here, so woman in wrestling, which against Athena, and then she's got to try and explain Ring of Honor to Toucher and Hardy here.
She does one better. She doesn't talk about Ring of Honor, or she does, but she also talks about something else.
Oh my fucking God. I can't wait for this, dude. She's about to try, because I didn't watch these, right? I just look at like a second and then I try to react with the chat. And it's like, man, Toucher and Hardy here have to try. Not only are they trying to wrap their heads around Mone, and not only are they trying to wrap their heads around fucking AEW, but now they got to try and wrap their heads around Ring of Honor. And you're telling me what? She throws New Japan out there too? Let's take a listen.
Performing and wrestling against Athena, who is the longest Ring of Honor champion of all time. She's held this title for over.
And she's got all 3 belts here. So they're probably
there's
like, what
part
are
of this where they talked about that and she starts explaining it. That might be the part where she says her entourage goes to the UK. This was content gold. It needed to be shared in as much as I could do.
Yeah, well, we played the part about the entourage already before you popped on.
Yeah,
but,
I got you on that. Yeah.
Yeah, let's take a listen though to what she says.
800 days. Wow. Insane. And she is one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time. So
she is one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time.
Who I'm
I
going
have
to beat
goosebumps
tonight.
for tomorrow.
Yeah, who I'm gonna beat at all in.
Can we spoil? Are we spoilers? I'm watching Dynamite now, but I'm very
Athena. Yeah, I'm watching too. I'm watching Dynamite.
64-0, and she just lost on Dynamite.
Yeah.
Wow, it's been one of my dream matches. Before I even made it to WWE, I had my eyes on Athena. So this is something
There
for
it
me
is,
that
by the way.
I'm really, really excited.
What's that?
Go back, play it again.
And here's the thing, right? So you're saying that Mone took the L. What did you say? 64-0 or
No. So they said during the match that Athena is 64.
Athena? Sorry, yeah, sorry, I misspoke there. Sorry, I meant Athena. So
Athena was 64-0,
and then she lost, right?
And by the way, like a streak that people who follow Ring of Honor legitimately were like, "This is a real streak," and I'll give it credit. It really was.
Yeah. But 40 people are watching that shit, bro.
No. But just think about it from like a building of a wrestler, a building of a talent, right? You give her this streak, and you bring her up to Dynamite.
Yeah.
And she loses to Mercedes clean in
Yeah.
the middle of the ring in the opening segment of a Dynamite.
In the opening round of a tournament,
To the wrestler
quarterfinal
on the
of a
roster
tournament.
who needs the win, the absolute least, and
Right.
you ruin 64-0 for Mercedes Mone.
Can I explain that to you though? And I called it before the match went down, and I'm not justifying it.
Everybody knew. I mean, this is
right, but this is Tony Khan's thinking and I called it. I said whoever loses this match is going to win in their rematch at All in Texas. So Athena lost this match. She's going to fucking beat Mone.
Beating Mone in the
hometown crowd. Yeah, in the hometown crowd because she's from Texas and they paraded her
but
out there.
who's beating Mone in the finals of the Owen then?
Maybe Mone wins the Owen, and then that's just another
And that's
Owen
a match against Tony Storm.
Okay, so maybe she does double duty, and then Athena dethrones fucking Mone, and then that's how they figure Mone gets the world title, but then drops the TBS one or something. Maybe she drops the TBS one earlier or something. Like who fucking knows? It's Tony Khan.
Regardless of the future, and this is Tony Khan's problem, and I agree with you. Like that's his thinking is that he can just go back to it and work it all out later.
Yes, that's his thinking. I'm trying to point out, like he did
thinking.
MJF twice in one All In. Remember, he opened with MJF on a fucking pre-show, then main evented with him at All In before. You know, he'll do that shit, man.
Putting Mercedes in 2 matches on All In will be a documentary.
And I'll be the first woman to wrestle.
Have her entourage and make a documentary of that. That'd be hilarious. But
maybe that's where
this is also their problem, though. To burn 64-0, I don't know.
Maybe that's where. Well, MJ, maybe that's where it culminates, though. Maybe her documentary's leading up to she's the first woman to fucking wrestle 2 matches on a event of that caliber, which is like less of a caliber than Elimination Chamber. And then it ends with her losing the TBS title, but then she fucking wins the world title when all's said and done on that card. And then we get like a double switch where she still drops, but she's still over or something. I don't know. I'm thinking big, but Tony will do dumb shit like that.
If you finish this clip, you'll find out what promotion she thinks this is.
Here we go. Let's take a listen.
So this is something for me that I'm really, really excited for.
800 days is long enough.
800 days is long enough. You know, I have 4 titles and people say that's enough. Like, that's too much. I think holding a title for 800 days, you're holding that a little ransom, but I'm about to slap some money taste into her mouth tomorrow.
All right. What about the fabulous Moolah?
What about it?
What about the fabulous Moolah?
We missed the part. She does say, she starts talking about WWE. It was my whole, like, what promotion does she bring up? She realizes no one knows what she's talking about with Ring of Honor. She's like, yeah, so like when we were in WWE, I wanted to wrestle.
Oh, so she does that, and like me and her were both in WWE type shit. That's crazy,
She's
dude.
like talking about this being a dream match because they were in WWE.
Amazing.
Wow. Miss
and MJF brought out the hoe train for the Hurt Syndicate here. But of course, Lashley's a married man, so
Mone.
Of course, he's married to Lana, but no.
Amen. She has a full entourage.
I got my money team with me. Absolutely.
Yes, and everyone else is dressed appropriately for this hour. I'm impressed that you put on.
Memo.
Yeah, no, you're dressed for people on the radio. You are dressed in a like a sequined jacket. Yeah. Your hair is perfect. You're obviously very attractive.
I think you're dressed how Bill Belichick's girlfriend aspires to dress.
Yeah. I've seen pictures of that.
I think you have attained the level that she one day hopes to reach.
She's
trying too hard.
I absolutely hope everybody wants to be a CEO of their own lives. I'm just doing my CEO life on a daily. So
Okay. All right.
I'm just doing my CEO life on a daily. This guy's like, what the fuck? Yeah, he's like, I got 4 kids. I fucking,
CEO.
I hide in the bathroom. What the fuck are you talking about?
Employees of yours?
So yeah.
Employees, yes.
Oh, wow. That is impressive.
And they get, this is where she says, like,
thank you.
And they travel with you everywhere?
Everywhere I go. Tony Khan, we appreciate you.
Tony Khan, who is the Jacksonville Jack.
Yeah, we played that clip before, right? It's on Tony Khan's dime. Wow, man. Mercedes, dude. And they're just like laughing about it. They're chuckling. We have this clip about Mercedes Mone from this actress here, and it's called the Sackhoff Show Clips. Okay, and this lady, Katie Sackhoff, I guess is a wrestler or something. Sackhoff, is that like your name, or is that like what you do? No. Oh, and so she had this to say, that Mercedes Mone, her Mandalorian co-star, changed her mind about pro wrestling. Let's hear what this lady has to say.
Matt, I had, like most people I would imagine, completely made up my mind about what wrestling was.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand it. I had this sort of idea in my mind that it was fake. And I had friends that were mixed martial artists and like fighters, and I understood that. But
can you guys get me a clip, Julia Gulia, of David Arquette in Ready to Rumble, saying when he screams at his dad and he's like, "Wrestling's not fake." His dad's a cop and he's like, "Wrestling's for dirt bags and lily pickers," and then David Arquette's like, "Wrestling's not fake." You got to get me that part, someone, please. Here we go.
For some reason, I didn't understand it. And I asked a very good friend of mine who's obsessed with wrestling. And I asked him what it was or what it is about wrestling that he loves so much. And he explained it to me in such a simple way. And he said, I'm invested in you as a character when I watch your TV shows, and I know it's not you. Mm-hmm. That's the same thing. He said, think of it.
Well, it sounded like this guy got you invested in pro wrestling and opened your eyes to it, and you're giving the credit to the CIA.
What are the chances it's a Culkin brother?
What are the chances it's a what?
A Culkin brother.
Yeah, or they're in like a Scientology cult. This chick's like in a fucking a Tom Cruise Scientology cult.
TV show that's like a soap opera that just keeps going. And you're invested in these characters and you have an emotional connection to these characters because you're welcoming them into your home every week.
So everything she's describing, AEW hasn't really done maybe but a handful of times since their existence with their characters, you know, made you care about them or relate to them or feel for them, you know?
Just like you do a TV show. And the good characters, the ones that you see rise to the top, that you have the biggest connection to, are the ones that are really good on the mic. And you see those characters continue in wrestling. But he said, I have an emotional connection to these people. They feel like they're a part of my life, just as if I'm watching a TV show every week. And it finally made sense to me. Yeah. And because that's when I knew I was going to work with you on Mandalorian. The respect I have for what you're doing physically.
Who is this chick played?
Now, how do you explain it to people that don't understand wrestling?
It's very hard for me to explain it because, like you said, like people always
like you said, like you said,
Why
is it hard for her to explain it?
And I'm just playing.
I thought you were the CEO. You should be able to explain this shit.
This is the thing she loves so much, but I can't explain it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to sell it to anybody. I don't know how to tell anybody to watch me do it. What a clown.
The time today to even explain it to people.
Don't you even have the time of a day to explain even from this hotel 5 stars? In fact, Jennifer Peppermint's right over here making me eggs.
People that want to call it fake.
There's 4 people there probably.
Yeah.
It's not. What I do in the ring is so very, very real. People legit can get paralyzed, they can get hurt, they can end their careers forever. It's such a hard sport, and it's so crazy that it's not considered.
It's such a hard sport.
This girl is like, we're not
considered
having
as a real.
Yeah. Who does she play in Star Wars? This other girl here, this Katie Sackhoff. Who does she play?
Oral sport.
Yeah.
But it is predetermined, so that's why. Someone is in the back, like the Wizard of Oz, writing down on a piece of paper who's going to win and who's going to lose and who's going to be our next champion and where do they want.
Yeah, and for Mia, it's actually a woman, and she just writes that I win every time because it's in my contract. Right? Like, what the fuck? Someone writes if you're gonna win or lose, except for Mia. It's in my deal. Like, for real.
Has she helped AEW in any way?
No, bro, no. Nope.
It's a year anniversary. Like, I don't know if it's to the day, but basically they were in Boston and they ran that big business show, and they did so much more business before she arrived. And I just don't know if maybe like Warner Brothers thought she was valuable, so they were like, okay, like cool, you have her. But like she's done nothing to generate business for them.
No.
The TV.
Want the storyline to be. So sometimes like that can be very hard. But what we do in the ring as wrestlers is very much real. We have to go train before we even get into that ring.
Before we even get into that ring,
years of work to make sure that we don't.
Professional actress. We have to
hurt our opponent.
Oh my god. Yeah, who do you think has it worse? The Sackhoff, she's probably, well, I mean, you got to get there. Call times are shitty. Movie sets, you're just fucking waiting around. Music video sets is sometimes a lot like that too. You're just fucking waiting for shit to happen. You're like, what the fuck?
You know people that like ever go out to LA to try to like make it?
No, I never went to LA to try and make it. No,
I'm saying you ever know of people? Like, do you know people that?
Oh yeah. Oh fuck yeah. Oh yes.
Like,
I have friends who are there now. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's so fucking grind. It's talk about running
a grimy
from the
grind, dude.
Like
that's what I'm saying about
from the grind.
And that's what I was saying about Samantha the Bomb. I was like, dude, the music business is so fucking seedy, man. And you're gonna
Can we pivot to that for a second here?
Sure, go ahead. We covered it already, so you can give your quick thoughts on it.
Ricochet, like you've been in AEW for 2 weeks, like a cup of coffee. You arrived at All In, and like business has never been worse. Meanwhile, you got a new wife who wants to be in the music business, and you're going after the president of WWE and board members of TKO, and you're losers. TKO is Endeavor. Endeavor is Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christmas.
Yeah, there. As Brendan Schaub would say, WWE.
Look, like some
WWE is
people
Netflix.
like are not cut out for.
Yeah.
Some people are not cut out for like making it, and that
Yeah.
dude flamed out in WWE, and he's super bitter, and he knows it, and like he's in the mid card of AEW at AEW's worst period of popularity. Like, you could not have fallen further. Shut the fuck up and stop engaging with people like Julian Weeks on Twitter. It's like not cool for AEW. It doesn't help.
Yeah, no, none of this engagement online helps them whatsoever. But let's transition over to some WWE news because we got a lot to talk about here too. Chat, I'm going to check in with you guys. I mean, I could watch that whole fucking thing with her and Monet, but I mean, Jesus Christ, how much more are we going to squeeze out of that? Creighton Ravs for 5 says, who's Mazda Monea's advocate? Tony Khan? Will Washington? The Reflection? Yeah, when a word ends with an N is when you have to hit an That's one part of the cadence when I get it going. In the mirror or wholly unsufferable. Or wholly unsufferable.
Do you know who it is?
Who's her advocate? No, I have no fucking clue. Do you?
Yeah. Like it's an advocate beyond. The funny thing is she's trying to stooge it off like it's a pro wrestling bit, like Paul Heyman's an advocate.
Mhm.
Like it's her business manager.
So who is it?
Like
we don't know their name, or I don't need their name. I don't give a fuck. I'm not trying to, but like you're saying, it's the business manager.
You ever hear of AfterBuzz TV?
Yes. Yeah, I just did a show today with Christian
manager?
DMZ, and what's that?
I thought you were going to say her manager.
No. Well, I just did a show today with Christian DMZ. We talked about Daredevil Born Again. And yeah, I believe he's worked with AfterBuzz, or maybe I'm wrong. Sorry, maybe I'm Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's worked with AfterBuzz TV. Anyways, what about it?
I'm just going to read what AfterBuzz TV is for your audience because they may not be aware of it. AfterBuzz TV is an online news website created by Maria Menounos and produced by Kevin Undergaro.
Oh shit, that's right.
In pop culture content related to several television series, including yada yada yada. Anyway, Wikipedia is your friend, and I think she has ties there. But anyway, advocate. She's stupid. I'm glad you covered it. I wanted your reaction. I was very curious. Do you want me to stick around for WWE, or you want me to bounce?
Dude, you can fucking stick around. Yeah, what are you doing?
I got AEW on in the background.
That's what I'm doing.
I'm a real fan. I watch. I am one of the 600 and whatever thousand sickos.
Yeah, for sure, dude. So
Did
me
you do
too.
sickos yet this
I have
week?
to, or else people can call me on my shit. You know?
Did you do sickos yet?
No, I didn't. That's coming up after WWE news.
So on sickos, because I don't know if I'll stick around for that long.
Yeah.
This is the Super Bowl week of tribalism.
I know.
I'd like to coin that. WrestleMania is the Super Bowl of tribalism.
Right.
The whole week is like one long week, and you get to just like be tribalistic because, I mean, it's the Super Bowl. Sickos go to war.
Yeah, dude. They are, man, and they're all beefing
I've
with
enjoyed
each other.
it. I've embraced it. Why? Like embrace the hate.
Yeah, my Twitter's blowing up, dude. Like I'm fucking every tweet I throw, it's like hundreds. You know, I'm getting like tons of likes. Not everyone, but it's a lot of them.
I've never had more engagement than this week. It's the Super Bowl. And I don't care about engagement because, like, I literally tell people do not follow me. It's a waste
I
of
mean,
time.
I'm just trying to get my pod and live shows out there. Like, I'm not monetized yet. Like, I don't get enough impressions for that, or I don't have enough. This is all I need. I actually most recently, because I've been getting so many impressions, I actually do have enough impressions now, but I still don't have the. I need like 500 verified followers or some shit, 300 verified or some shit like that. So. Once that happens, cool. Then I'll gladly monetize it. But I've been going for like a year just paying without without even monetizing it, just to try and get the engagement out there in the longer posts. So I'm down to pay for it if I can make the $10 back off there. Sweet, you know, my posting's not gonna change, and yeah, it's definitely hasn't been a grift for me. I got in before you could make money from X, got the blue check, and haven't made a dime from it to this day. So
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
As a content creator.
Yeah.
What would you prefer? 15,000 people following you, or hundreds of views that you receive? I mean, 200 plus live people watching right now.
Like, well, we actually have more like closer to 500 watching if you count across X as well, dude. Yeah, we're doing we're doing crazy tonight. So the X, we're on YouTube and X. You know, I just streamed X every time. So if you count both, it's like, you know, we're rocking. But yeah, so the people, what would I rather have? Listen, man, this is what I tell people.
As a content creator,
yeah,
I would think that like this is your content. Like,
yeah.
I think it's cool that you have the following you do.
Yeah, I agree.
There's I think there's a lot of fake accounts out there that have a lot more of a X following that have like 10 views.
Yeah, man. Well, they bought the shit up, and the shit they're selling isn't genuine. You know, a lot of these motherfuckers, they're just not genuine people, and I think people like sense that, and they don't want to really fuck with AI. Our gold buddy leans so hard like in favor of AEW. Look, if I just right now was like pulling a JD, fuck AEW and off with Tony's head and all that sort of shit, like if I just full on made my account like the WWE czar, fuck AEW, I'd have 20,000 followers, like for sure. But I don't do that. I'm fence sitting Phil. I gotta, you know, if you lean one way or the other, you see it the same politically, I'm sure, MJ as well. You see like political Twitter. If you lean one way or the other, like hardcore, you fucking, you know, that's where you get the views. That's where you get the big following. So a lot of it's just inflated based off like them being in an echo chamber of, and we saw like AR Gold tweeting, messaging people, hey, you know, we should all like and follow each other so we get more money together and shit. And it's like, what the fuck?
I will say this about that. When I see like somebody with 15,000 followers on X and they have a poll that has like 40 people respond in like 4 days.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that there's fake stuff like out there. And then I think that it backfires on AEW for having it out there because those accounts in the algorithm just promote everything else. So if you engage with them, you just get blasted. And I think that's what I'm at least seeing. I've always been honest. I'm running an experiment, a never-ending experiment in this world called the IWC. But anyway, WWE. Sorry.
No. Don't be sorry, man. We got off to talking. I'm sorry to Pliny, and I kept you waiting, but you're a fucking good buddy, old pal, so I know you're all right. I'm sorry I'll never be able to take her seriously after hearing her say her corgis are related to the Queen of England. Is that what the fuck she said, dude?
Yeah.
You know what they say, Pliny.
Sometimes in life, you got to be a hoe.
Right? And you got to have agents and handlers and advocates and writers and all that. You know what I mean? Thank you for the 5, Pliny, and sorry to give you waiting. I appreciate it. Eco chamber, not echo chamber. Doesn't matter, but no, this isn't Biodome. AEW is more environmentally friendly because they recycle everyone and all their angles. She said that in a press scrum. That is fucking crazy. Phil, if Tony Khan calls you, yeah, call me, dude. I'll do a shill AEW show, but it's not going to be called Pro Wrestle Times. It'll be called AEW fucking awesome. AEW, let's get paid. Every fucking Thursday night.
No, after we found out, like more finding out of like who Tony pays. Like first it was Rita Chatterton.
Yeah.
Then we find out Ric Flair's still on the payroll.
Still.
Like Ric Flair just outed it. Like it's getting to stooge levels. But like, all right, so then we find out that like Mercedes Mone has a whole entourage that's getting like floated by Tony. If these cosplaying journalists who are really just PR shills for the company and like they're useless idiots as like a marketing campaign that the company runs are not getting paid, it's embarrassing for them at this point.
Yeah.
And like I'm willing to name names, and I won't do it on your show. I'll do it on the Spaces, and I'm gonna call some people out. Like, if you're not getting paid, like, what the heck is wrong with you? Because everyone gets paid by this guy.
Yeah, no,
and I actually think that a lot of them, like, that say, I don't get paid by AEW. Like, well, no shit. You get paid by, like, Ring of Honor. Or you get paid by, like, Tony Khan. Or you get paid by somebody. But, like, enough of the act already. Like, I'd like someone to just come out and say it. Because, like, Ric Flair's stooging him. Mercedes Moné's stooging him. Like, what's the worst that happens? Like, you probably get a bigger following for stooging him. You're all chasing the cloud anyway. Sorry, I had to get that off.
No, don't be sorry, man. I'm just digesting what you're saying because you're dropping bars and I'm fucking just, sighing over such a sad state, And then I saw the other day MJF, I think it's in the sicko segment, but he's fucking hanging out with Elbu in a fucking space again. And I'm sitting there like, man, these guys don't learn, do they? Like, they really don't fucking
There's
learn.
a chance he went in there to, like, blast him and leave, or like joke about him.
Nah, but that's what he did
like,
always. That's their friendly little game they play.
Like, there's like some communication going on, and that the grift that keeps grifting is that whole crew. Like that they got people in their Discord actually like threatening Tony. In the
I know,
and it's like either clean your shit up, disband it, and don't be associated with it. But then, like, MJF goes and hangs out with him. It's like there are so many layers and levels to which this company is just completely broken, and like everything is starting to leak out. Like, this is the Titanic, and everything is leaking out, and people are fleeing the ship. The ones who can get first class tickets are out of there, and it's not going to stop. You called it, the exodus of 2025, and I'm on this New Japan thing. Like, it's not fake. Like, it's not like I'm joking when I write a report about it, but like there is so much smoke to that fire that I've had people reach out to me like IRL and be like, tell us what you know, we'll tell you what we're hearing about like Japanese media.
Well, since we can't get off the topic of sickos, it is time for an impromptu sicko segment. Let's get into it. WWE news can wait for just a moment. So, again, just what we were talking about, right? The backup Hangman side one night stand debating Dom, and then MJF's up in there. And then Wrestle Purists are like, what the fuck is this? And it's like, you know what that is. That's
it's
your
like they
homeboy.
are Wrestle Purists, like, right? Like, that's like a thing known.
MJF's your guy, and he's in there, So this Ridge Holland guy, not the real Ridge Holland, but this guy pretending to be, or not pretending to be, but rather like parodying him or whatever. He's just a sicko. And he's like, CMLL and AEW need to expose this bitch, talking about Stephanie Vaquer, for the unprofessionalism she displayed. Her ex should have finished the job. Whoa. And prevented her from stealing the spotlight from other deserving women. Steph Vaquer, you don't belong in this business. Go back to where you came from. Whoa, dude! What the fuck is that about?
Click the account.
I don't even want to, and it's like, fuck this guy. 65 followers, made his name Ridge Holland. Yeah, I'm sure Ridge appreciates
go to
that.
the followers. Can we do something real quick? Go to the followers.
You're taking us on a fucking
no. It's all the same fucking accounts and people.
I know, it's bots,
if you go
bro.
To followers or following. No, but there's some real people in there.
Okay.
If you go to whoever they're following, whatever. Anyway, people can do this. It's so deranged, and it's very obvious. That's all I'll say. I'll leave it alone.
Okay. So that's crazy, man. That guy needs to calm the fuck down. So, Josh Barnett having to respond to more sickos again about WWE talent being on GCW Bloodsport. And this Tranquilo account goes, on this 10-match indie show, only 3 matches don't have any WWE wrestlers in them, and 2 of those 3 matches have New Japan wrestlers in them. And then Josh Barnett's like, all those wrestlers must be terrible then and not capable of delivering the best matches possible in this format. Bloodsport is a neutral ground where wrestlers from anywhere can come and compete. What's more independent than that? Yeah, fucking A. Shout out Josh Barnett, a legend. Okay. So look at this person. He watched the WrestleMania 9 doc, right? And his name's Wire Taupe or something. And he has a screen grab. This is actually Nick Khan at WrestleMania 9 as a security guard, right? And they're in Vegas, so it makes sense that this was the that this was the documentary they went with for Peacock here. And this guy goes, Nick Khan literally was born without a soul. Those eyes were built to analyze a situation and manipulate to the beholder's interests. What the fuck? Yeah, he's what are you calling him, Jafar? He's got the Cobra staff or whatever that Jafar has in Aladdin that like brainwashes people. What are you talking about, right? And then the flames are all swirling in his eyes, and Jasmine, the fucking Sultan's looking at him, and he's like, yes, to Jafar and shit. It's like, what are you talking about, bro? You're just looking at a dude's normal eyes, right? And he's standing here just working security, and he's like really hyped that he's at WrestleMania, And I'm sure what year was this? What year was WrestleMania 9, chat? Or MJ? Who's got the number? I don't remember, but if it was the 80s, dude.
What, this WrestleMania?
WrestleMania 9, yeah. When was that? What year was that? It's like got to be 90 something.
93.
There you go. So just out of the cocaine era is all I'm saying. Moving along here. So the bad boy Joey Janela is going back and forth with Jimmy Corderas a little bit, right? And so MJ from NJ, you're here, dude. Again. You made the show, and you post
this may or may not have triggered an avalanche, resulting in Nick Khan's comments today.
Yeah, and so this is when Shivani and fucking Tony Khan were shitting on, WWE on TNA television, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, somebody commented on this. They replied, it was very funny, that look how he's holding his arms under his hands under his armpits so he can look like he has bigger muscles. Which I gotta chuckle at him.
Oh man. So they just talk shit.
Fans, as we set to go live on TNT tonight with AEW Dynamite at 10 o'clock Eastern time, I introduce...
Like, who the fuck does Tony think he is in this video?
This is very timely, by the way. Did you do the Bill Simmons Nick Khan thing?
Yeah. Yes, we touched on it. It's in WWE news as well, a little more, and we have some sickos reactions to it as well. But
the owner, the president of All Elite Wrestling, and the Forbidden Door, Mr. Tony Khan.
Thank you very much, Tony. I appreciate it, Mr. Shivani. And as we get ready to go live tonight on Dynamite on TNT, I just wanted to address as the Forbidden Door. I read in the Observer.
As the Forbidden Door.
I read in the Observer.
Observer today that New Japan Pro Wrestling apparently has had talks with WWE's president, Nick Khan. Well, Nick, I have to say, if you've been talking to New Japan Pro Wrestling for 2 months, you've gotten a lot done. Just in the last 2 weeks, I've had Yuji Nagata, Ren Narita, and Rocky Romero on AEW. I've reunited.
And? Like, what the fuck is he talking about? God damn it, he's such a fucking mark, dude.
Ren Narita.
Jesus Christ. Ren Narita.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
Yeah, it was years ago. Comical. Go ahead.
Yuji Nagata. You mean the guy from WCW? What are you talking about?
This, by the way, they're celebrating tonight, and this couldn't be more WCW 2000 than anything. He's quoting the Observer.
Oh my God.
On a national broadcast, he's talking about the Observer. You don't get more WCW 2000 than that.
Oh my God, this is fucking gold, man. I love the throwbacks sometimes.
I've had the New Japan IWGP US champion Jon Moxley defend the title successfully on our show.
You can't even get the words out. It's such a mouthful.
The what now?
Getting it. And I have future plans with New Japan Pro Wrestling for the U.S. title. So
future plans? He's like having a meltdown. He's all nervous. He's
I wrote it in my notebook.
You ever see that movie or that SNL sketch, Superstar? He's like Molly Shannon, has his hands under his armpits, and he smells them after.
You must have.
He's all nervous and shit.
Really gotten a lot done in the 2 months, Nick. In fact, I think there's only room for one Khan in the wrestling business, Nick. And it's me. It's Tony Khan.
But I'm pumped.
Yes.
Yo,
there's only room for one Khan.
So this parlays into like the whole Nick Khan comments today. No small coincidence that this was an avalanche. But this was Tony like years ago, just direct shooting at Nick Khan.
Yeah.
On a national telecast.
Yeah. And like not even their own company. Like Tony Khan didn't even have the balls to do this on his own show.
Did
It's
this
not some
dude
con man
not
for-
expect receipts?
No, he didn't. He just talks shit. He's an internet forum kid who used to hang out with fucking old Nambla dudes from the forums, like Eric Cartman.
From Connecticut. Have a fun show tonight, Nick. See you on Dynamite.
What
See you
the-
on Dynamite. Like Nick's coming to Dynamite.
I know, and he always does that. There's a clip in my Sicko song where Tony Khan's like, "Thank you, TikTok and AEW," and or he goes, "Thank you, AEW and TikTok," and it's like, bro, you just ended your promo about Dynamite thanking your own company and TikTok, for fuck's sakes. Like like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Can we jump around and go to the Bill Simmons Nick Khan thing?
We certainly can. I just wanted to cover this quick though. Jimmy Corderas is like, Jesus, I wonder why he's wearing sunglasses. Actually, no, I don't. And then the bad boy Joey Janela is like, Jimmy worked with WWE from 1987 to 2009 in that timetable. I'd say about 90% of the people he worked with were drug addicts in one way or another. I'm sure he was blowing lines with the boys as well. Like, God damn it, man. Just goes so
By the way,
hard on Corderas.
Joey not denying what was going on.
No, well, absolutely. How can you? How can you, you know?
Just attacking Jimmy, but not denying.
So here's this guy, like you quote tweeted this, you screen grabbed this, and some of these sickos have just been, you know, Ospreay's like, oh bruv, if I wrestled in front of a Monday Night Raw crowd, they'd have a sexual awakening, bruv. And then, but these guys are having sexual awakenings. Like, you're just like projecting that shit, bro, because this is these weirdo fans, this Takeshita fan here. And MJ from NJ, you post this. I hope Take Soup, nor Will Ospreay, nor Don Callis, or his friends, or his professor ever see this Takeshita fan tweet. This is fucking weird, and it was like yesterday. So Takeshita fan tweets this out when he sees that Takeshita and Will Ospreay are teamed up, and this guy's just had me blocked like forever. I don't even know. He just
I found out quite a bit about this guy because this college kid. He's a college kid. You know how we always joke that like these are kids? It's a college kid that's in Europe.
It's unfortunate.
And I found out quite a bit about him because he decided to engage with me over what political culture is like here in America. And you know what he cited as like knowing he's like an authority on this is that he takes like a political theory class.
Yeah.
And it's his minor, not his major, it's his minor.
Yeah.
And I'm
Jesus.
like, you have not lived in this world or experienced enough, certainly not in America, to like comment on this. And then he just kind of like, then I realized, oh, this is like one of those sickos, like one of those hollowed out. This is a 10,000 account person that I was talking about.
I
Like,
was
just
reading
hollowed out.
I was reading a thing where it was like, for the first time, generations are like have like lower IQs on average than fucking like the generations before them. You know, like in the Western world or some shit. I don't fucking know. Social media rots these. It's brain rot. They all grew up.
This is brain rot. Like
watching
it's right in front
Skibbity
of us,
Toilet,
like-
and now they're like talking wrestling, and they're talking political, whatever the fuck with you, and they don't know what they're talking about. But this guy though goes, Takeshita fan, he goes, I'm over here stroking my dick. I got lotion on my dick right now. I'm just stroking my shit. I'm horny as fuck, man. I'm a freak, man. Like, this is what the fuck he's saying about this wrestling match. And it's just like, why, man? Why do this? Like, this is turning people away.
But these are the sickos, and this is what Will Ospreay is like promoting this, right? Will
I
Ospreay
know.
says that he gaslight. He stokes the flames. He incites it. Then these are kids that like say all this, and it's like, dude, like, you're saying this in public, like on X, like what are you draw the line of like what's real and what's like pretend on X? Like this should not exist. It's
And
just
when he's-
a weird culture.
And when
It's
he's
not just
30,
him.
when he's 35, he's gonna be like, fuck me, you know?
35. Like, that's why I said like I hope none of these people ever see this because you'd be embarrassed by it.
Yeah. So Slick 2099 says WWE rating AEW of its own stars because it's much easier and faster than making stars own their own. Own their own is classic WWE behavior, man. They did the same thing to TNA back in the day for years. It's also done to hurt AEW's business, and fans say WWE doesn't worry about AEW.
Guaranteed this is another kid.
Again, just like projection, yeah, probably a kid, and AEW's never made a star, in my opinion, like a full-fledged star. You know, MJF's undeniable ultimately. Doesn't matter where he went, he was going to, you know, get traction and have eyeballs on him. But I don't think they've made a stars in what? Like, what quantifies that? A television or pay-per-view draw?
They've made one star in the company. It's MJF.
Who? Sure, but did they make him that, or would he have made himself that if he went to NXT or if he went to TNA or if he went like he was just
Cody,
he's bonafide.
He has been very honest about this. Cody gave him his break, took a chance on him, put him on the first All In before, right, the one that we watched on Awful's video, and like whether he would have wound up in WWE and how he would have succeeded there versus what he ended up doing once given the freedom in AEW, like he a bona fide star, like so. To me, it's like that AEW cultivated that. They gave him the room to grow and do what he needed to do because he might have been stifled elsewhere. But they haven't made anyone else. Hangman's a star, but Hangman was like Hangman was a big star. He was in the main event of the first All In. He was already that guy. Like, it's not anything different.
And look at these graphics I have pulled up here. Here's all the people from NXT and WWE that AEW has signed, hired, or fired, right?
And that's not including New Japan, right?
And then New Japan's right here. Here's all the New Japan guys / like indie guys as well.
They're still paying Kota Ibushi.
Yeah. So
Kota Ibushi's getting a bag from Tony, but there are guys posting links to fucking ticket sales, like literal links, and they're not getting a bag. Bullshit.
Yeah. But these people that they've taken from all these companies, it's like these sickos don't keep the same fucking energy, you know? Oh, they're being WWE's raiding. No, they're not fucking raiding. Like, this is a raid right here. This is why you guys are like TNA now, right? And we see it, AEW's playing like promos for Dynamite for people when they get off the plane at Vegas there. And it's a smart move, but you know, what are they looking at? Old AEW guys or WWE guys, and then it's this AEW shit. And how many people do they convert? Like, hopefully some, but to them, it's just like, oh, Ricochet's there and shit. Well, I just saw him on TV. Like, do I want to go over there and watch Ricochet and Swerve and, you know, like Christian and shit? Like, I don't know about that. So it is what it is, man. This guy here, I destroyed him. Tuke Timbo. Right? He goes, just because a wrestler goes to another company doesn't mean the previous company fumbled. And then posts a picture of Mariah May. And then all I did was type fumbled on his thing. So I'm like, watch, I guarantee, I know I've seen this guy say people have been fumbled. WWE fumbled him big time. WWE fumbled him badly. You know what I'm saying? This dude is a hypocrite, doesn't keep the same fucking energy. Meanwhile, WWE fumbled one of the best wrestlers in the world. Me too. Better storylines and matches for Danielson. WWE fumbled him badly. Imagine being so restarted that you fucking think that WWE fumbled Daniel Bryan. They made him into the fucking ginormous star that he is to begin with, you know? So it's pretty crazy to me when people say shit like that. Speaking of which, Dav Boro, Down Bad Dav, he's like, all the WWE fans who called Mariah Timu Tiffany Stratton for 2 years are currently deleting all their tweets about her today. Here's Dav. Timu Mariah May about Tiffany Stratton. So this motherfucker's just projecting. Right? And that's why these sickos do it, man. Look, he got how much impressions on both of these tweets and likes from just a bubble of fucking
That's
insane
not
people.
a verified account. That's like a real person.
Yeah, Dav's like everyone knows him. He like ran away to Blue Sky, but then is
He's
still
one of the
on
very
X
few that I
complaining.
think I have blocked. He takes a great level.
Everyone blocks him, yeah, because he's like a sick weirdo. He'll like fucking, he's just a sick guy, man. He just go, if I don't know, he'll like post some shit. and then like where he's like cool to you, and then he'll start like shit talking you to other people where you're not tagged in, or like we'll screen grab and dip and shit. And it's like, all right, then I have to block you so you don't just talk shit to me if you're gonna talk shit to me, you know? So it's like one of those things. So I'm just like, yeah, everybody fucking should be blocking idiots like this, you know, or mute them, right? Like AR Gold, you got to mute that guy, you know, until someone reacts to a screen grab or something. But yeah, dude, like these type of people are like, you just got to fucking mute them because it's such disingenuous like projection. So this guy, it's like you can never take this guy ever in good faith ever, because he will do this. He will call people Timu this and then go, oh, all the WWE fans are saying Timu that. And it's just bullshit. That's a gross person. That's like, yeah.
And none of them actually speak like publicly.
No, because anyone can. And I'm saying, like, I know people who are really funny on X, and I'm not trying to diminish them. Like, I'm not saying there's no art form to being good at X. It took me a long time to get good at X and shit. But I'm just being honest, man. Like, anyone can X. There's a reason these fucking teenagers are on here getting, you know, all these getting these followings, and, you know.
I think half of it's fake.
Well, I know, but I mean, there's some of that, but there's some of that, bro. But at the same time, you got to remember, people are putting themselves in bubbles, bro. Like people are putting themselves in bubbles, so they're all going to find each other in their little echo chamber.
I
and
get
like
stuck in their bubble.
Yeah,
I engage with them enough that I get stuck in their bubble, but it's like it's an interesting thing.
It really is. I call it the bubble paradox, though. Like, you get enough people who are all fucking, like, that's what Blue Sky is. It's just everyone who wanted to be in their own bubble but didn't want to be on X anymore. Now they just go to Blue Sky to complain about what's going on X, you know? And it's like, you all really just want to be over here, but you all put yourselves in a fucking bubble.
What was his name? Righteous, the righteous one. He came back.
They all come back.
I've lit him up a few
Same
times.
with Dav. He fucking came back because they
afraid to
can't
engage
stay
now.
away. Because this is why they're addicted to like the dopamine high of the likes, and over there's not as much of the interaction of the salaciousness.
Some of them have to shill for websites, so like they have to come back because they literally can't sell. And these websites, Wrestle Observer newsletter, another 50% off sale.
So AEW Defender, you know, he posts this, and he blocked me. This guy, speaking of being blocked, but he was like, Sammy is in ROH being mentored by Dustin Rhodes. Darby is on Mount Everest gaining the most prestigious bragging right in extreme sports. Jack Perry is building anticipation, and he's going to be an important piece of the current puzzle. Like, what the fuck?
He leaves out their biggest star of all of them.
I know, he leaves out MJF, but then the other pillars, like, dude, Sammy's gone because Mone, he's not allowed on the shows Mone is on. Darby could possibly die on Mount Everest, and he's gaining the most prestigious bragging right in extreme sports. Okay, then go be a skateboarder. Like, what the fuck you talk? Get some rollerblades. Like, what are you talking about?
Nobody will know he did this.
No. And then Jack Perry is building anticipation. How? By being gone? By not being anywhere and being off TV? Ooh, the anticipation. You know, and it's an important piece to the current puzzle. No, he's not. Listen to the reaction Joe gets. That should be the most important piece of the whole brand AEW, right? But I just, you know, I saw someone screen grab this, so I saved the picture, and I was just like, these aren't real people.
MJF has to leave that company.
Yeah. Because
AEW Defender intentionally leaving him off is like why MJF is peaked at that company.
So here's Mariah May saying, hey, don't hinder Jinder. So she's a real wacko. You know, she's a real fucking sicko, and I'm with her. You guys can go back. Just type in Jinder and watch me fucking look at me marking out over Jinder on X. So Wiretaup, you know, he was here before earlier in the sickos, and Wrestling News says people in AEW believe Mariah May is heading to WWE. And then Wiretap is like, actually, she was never good and isn't even that hot. So maybe he's joking, but again, they're just going to do this.
That was something I called would happen. As soon as I saw it in the morning, like super early, I was like, how long till that happens? And then sure as shit.
So did you see the video I posted of Bret Hart in an airport? And there's like an AEW guy. So guys, I don't know. People got mad at me and they're like, why are we filming people in airports? Listen, don't shoot the messenger. Like, this was sent to me directly. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Bret Hart's laughing here in this video, okay? it's his people filming this shit. I'm sorry if I'm blowing up the spot.
This
He
is
can,
like
he can put me in the
this is-
sharpshooter later. Yeah,
This
go
is
ahead.
like the wrestling equivalent of the Arthur meme.
But so like Brett, the reason he's got a smile and is looking at the camera is because he is like getting a kick out of this situation. Okay, guys. So I posted this. All right. I'm sorry if I'm blowing anyone's spot up, but it's fucking hilarious. Okay. And then I was like, the sickos are gonna be mad again because Rob Van Dam liked it. Right after he was like, I don't like AEW and shit. I don't like their fans and shit. This was right after that. And then official RVD liked that fucking video, which popped me. And I was just like, sickos are going to be mad again. Mad at RVD again. Here's MJ from NJ, who says dirt sheets, tabloids, and gossip boys really didn't like that. Tony didn't do what they wanted, and now Tony pays for his sins. One expose after the next, but congrats, Tony Khan, on beating Nitro, a company that's been dead for nearly 25 years. You did it. And so, yeah, here's Bear Bronson.
Well, no,
And so
it was all the outlets that were doing it. So, like, if you look at all the outlets, it's all the AEW friendlies that like had just suddenly turned on him because they were pissed about Dynasty.
So we covered on this show before that Bear Boulder, like, allegedly, or I don't know, but he like beat up his wife or girlfriend or something and like stood on her head and stuff, like crazy shit if you read the thing, right? And maybe that's not verbatim. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer or anything, but Bear Bronson, Bear Bronson says he's been forgotten and ignored. Almost feels like I'm paying for someone else's crimes. And then Elbu goes, the layout and finish of AEW Dynasty 2025 is the exact kind of finish from the market leader that literally sparked the creation of AEW in 2019.
From the market leader. He literally he's just dunking on AEW. Fucking Gossip Boy himself is just like, yeah, market leader. It's them, not you.
So Voices of Wrestling go, a messy opening half hour isn't what AEW needed coming off a not so well received pay-per-view, but we did get some clarity on several key storyline directions coming out of the ill-fated AEW Dynasty main event. What the
I feel like,
and then Meltzer.
Well, go back to the Voices of
what I
Wrestling
watch
one, because I'm here, so I'll explain like why I chose these. A messy opening half hour, negative. Coming off a not so well received, negative. Ill-fated main event, negative. It's just incredible how predictable these outlets are, that like when they don't get what they've like pitched their audience, it's like, well, now we got to turn on them. These are such fucking grifters.
Because I didn't watch all of it. It does feel like there's a direction. It does feel like the momentum is better.
Just because there's a direction, just because there's a story, even if the story,
he doesn't watch
even if the story's shitty, if the story's shitty, you can't go, but there is a story, that doesn't count. You can't go, well, it feels like there's a direction.
How does he know?
Well, because he texts Tony.
I feel momentum is better. It's not, it's still not where I would, like it to be. I don't know that it can.
Why would you like it to be anywhere? Objective, unbiased journalist guy?
Get there, with WWE being as strong as it is. But
I don't think it can get there with WWE being as strong as it is. Like, his whole mind is just trying to, his whole fucking show and everything he does, all Dave does now is try and convince people that WWE is going to fall off and is only hot because of make-believe pretend, and AEW can somehow be in this fight and take over WWE because it's just clearly better.
I think
that's what he's trying to convince people.
I think Dave, and I started clipping more of his videos because he looks so defeated. I think Dave realizes it sucks, but also he won't bring himself to say anything too critical, so he has to point to like, well, WWE is the reason. Like, this only sucks because they're so good, and it's like, otherwise this would be great and people would love it. But it's like, no, dude, like, people don't like it, and you're wrong. Like, your opinion of wrestling and what you've pitched your whole fucking legacy to is wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong, Dave.
It's doing better. So
it's doing better. How's it doing better? There's no verifiable way it's doing better. Moving along here. So On Becca, on God, let's have a fucking, here's a real wacko, one of our sickos here who loves fucking Becca. Let's watch her entrance and look at this wacko sing along to her. Head to your hell, RP. Oh, no. And my office get it every day. But I never while I'm working on my fitness. On God, I make you wish you had this hot bod. On Becca, on God.
She no-sells him so hard.
What's that?
She no-sells him so hard.
Oh, yeah. I fucking love it, though, dude. I love Becca, man, and her whole gimmick, her whole persona is so just fucking good for the indies, man. I love that song, too. That song legit slaps. So this guy here, Takeshita fan, you know, he's responding to Mariah May. Hey, I'm 6'4" and hate periods, by the way.
What?
Jesus.
You what?
Jesus Christ, man. Just a fucking sicko. Moving along here. Someone tag me in this. Check this sicko out. Oh, yeah, this is the guy. So he hates Stephanie Vaquer. We read that before. He goes, this bitch is literal ratings poison and a vindictive liar. The way she did her previous workplaces to join WWE is sickening. Carmen needs to catch up to her. She deserves it. I'm begging Charlotte to bury her.
Kayfabe or not kayfabe?
I think a real psycho person.
Scary.
So
My
BJ Bethel.
old friend BJ.
Yeah, speaking of BJ, is that your name or is that like what you do? So I keep cracking that one, but that's my favorite one. So Meltzer said what? You know, he goes off on BJ. We covered this before. I'm sure this is in Dave Meltzer's dumb moment as well. But Meltzer's like, why are you posting like such a gotten to in the bag, whiny, totally not grifting little bitch over your fake max numbers that you were fed? How come before the story came out, all your in the bag media buddies mock numbers not even close to this? So Meltzer said what does a good job of chronicling how like Bethel's just full of shit, even according to Dave. We fucking covered it, man. Dave thinks they're fake too. The numbers that Bethel said are fake too. And he's like, it's closer to 200,000, if anything.
Which, by the way, I came on this show and said it was not more than 300,000, and I showed my work on how I arrived there. So, once again, math is math. Like, why fight it?
Math is a wonderful thing. Dun, dun, dun. Math is a really cool thing. So get off your ass. Let's learn some math. No. Meltzer said what? Says, this is the AEW fanboy troll stand journalist BJ Bethel, who broke the fake AEW Max streaming number story, a total fraud, who logs on here for his 2,800 followers to dunk on WWE and its wrestlers like Rollins on behalf of Tony Khan. I totally trustworthy source. So BJ Bethel, like, why does he care? What a fucking clown. Like, why does he care what Seth Rollins has to say? And
why does he care to defend Dave?
That's what I mean, because they're fucking butt buddies.
He's on the record of saying Dave is a mentor of his. So
there you go. And so BJ's like, Seth should stop commenting on things outside his own company. He ends up, hey, you stop commenting on AEW and Warner Bros. Outside your own company, dumb fuck. Oh, but you're not going to do that, right? Because you're probably getting fucking paid by Tony Khan. He ends up falling face first every time he does it. Seth took money from a billionaire sex pest for years. I mean, where can saying this shit ever go right for him? All right. Yeah, Bethel's a real goof, you know?
They updated that story for the sole purpose of like getting it recirculated Mania weekend. And in the update, there are more grammatical and like wrong words. Like it's not been edited. Like it doesn't, like it's been published without being proofread. And I just think that needs to be noted that like this is the person that sickos say is so trustworthy that can't be bothered to proofread in a website that is not proofreading what is getting posted. But this is the official Max. Like this is what he was told. Like That thing unraveled as quickly as it was thought up of in the mind of BJ Bethel. That's it.
Absolutely. No, you nailed it, man. So
He-
SkyTel, sorry, I was
he's
just
the-
reading ahead
sorry,
on this sicko.
Sorry, just because I don't know if people realize this, he is the person that told me I should challenge the media, like encouraged me to do so. So BJ Bethel could just thank himself.
Yeah. So the SkyTel guy says this to Jimmy Corderas. He's like, WWE was responsible for nearly killing you, and they dropped Owen Hart from the roof of an arena to his horrific death. It's only because Owen used his final words on Earth to warn you to move that you're alive. Here you are 26 years later chasing WWE's approval. Fuck you. No, SkyTel, fuck you. You're a scumbag and a goof. How about that?
Cancer to the pro wrestling business, and
Literally a cancer.
Whether or not he actually is a 20-year industry vet,
he's not.
The things that he says, like nobody would work in a business that they are actually that. Like,
No, he's
poisonous
a
to
fucking
talk
liar.
about. Yeah, and this was pretty fucking low. I've become friendly with Mr. Corderas, and there are a few things in wrestling you probably like places you don't go and people you don't go there to. And to do this was the lowest form of scum.
Jimmy, you got to come on the show, bud, if you're listening. We got to do it.
I'll set it up with Jimmy, Mr. Corderas.
Sure.
I talked to him on Spaces, like super nice guy. And I told this story that like I think he and I got into it the way that he gets into it with people like years ago, but then like no blocking. Like he's like, well, if I didn't block you, you didn't cross any lines. I was like, fantastic. Like somebody else that likes to engage in like fun, just like bullshit debate, like challenge, whatever. It's great. I think he's a good thing for pro wrestling discourse.
So this guy here tweets out, he's going, this is in response to Tetsuya Naito. But he's not even responding to a person saying this. He's just quoting it himself, having invisible arguments with people in his head. And he goes, he's going to WWE. Tetsuya Naito can't even see straight. He has no knees. Man has had 3 eye surgeries. He's 100% going nowhere except to enjoy a lovely retirement. And it's like, why trash him? Why, whenever WWE comes up, you guys just bury the wrestlers as quick as you can? Like, he could go there and just get inducted like Muda or something, even, you motherfuckers. Like, haters through and through. So Janela gets responded to by Jimmy Corderas. Corderas says, you know what slander and libel is, Joey? Never did any of that. But of course, for someone who's never really made, despite constantly putting themselves over, I expect nothing less from you. So there you go. Janela's really angry at WWE lately, and it's super fucking cringe. Like, he's not even being like funny cringe, like trolly on Twitter. It's just, it's actually getting cringe, you know? So MJ, again, you're in here laughing at King Gao, who says Sean Ross Sapp on Nick Khan claiming that WWE doesn't sign wrestlers to bench them. So one thing we'll get into in WWE news, Nick Khan said, we don't sign wrestlers to bench them. There you go. But Sean Ross Sapp is like, this is incredibly hypocritical. Omos was brought back from his best in-ring run of his career in Noah. They loved him there. Hasn't been on TV since. He's not hurt. Natalia's working indies and the NWA because they urgently wanted to re-sign her to keep her from doing the Owen Hart tournament last year with AEW, and they haven't done anything with her for 6 to 7 months.
I have so much to say about this.
Well, say it, because here, I'll just give my quick thoughts. Who gives a fucking shit? They're all shelving fucking people. This is what I mean. He's defending like, okay, so Tony signs people and shelves them, and you're cool with that, and that's cool. But then you're like, oh, it's hypocritical. In one instance, it's like, yes, some people get shelved, but then you're also bitching. You're the same people also bitching when fucking WWE releases people too. Oh, how dare you release Indy? Well, she's fucking sitting there doing nothing of importance. So it's like, Jesus Christ, man. This is hypocritical what you're saying. And it's like, why do you care so much to, well, I guess here's the thing. I'm not going to say that because I care and call people out and shit. Right. But
I'm going to defend number one boy of Fightful for a second, which people who know me, like, I don't defend many. This is one person that like
I was about to
he doesn't want engagement with me. He's already
me neither, dude. And I was about to sort of defend him a bit too. Like I was just gonna say there before you drop what you got to say. I was just gonna say like I fucking critique thing. Like he's given his thoughts on shit, so I guess that's not a fair criticism of me to be like, why do you care entirely, right? But the thing is like it just feels so defensive when it's like, where's that energy then for Tony Khan when people are calling him out for shelving people and he's saying he's doing the best show on earth?
He did come out and say, and I did see something circulate where he has said it's wrong on both sides.
Okay,
and that's
good,
cool,
good.
Right? Like I
good.
give him credit for that. But here's what I want to say about this post in particular, and then on him in a second. On this post, this is just like grifters grifting grifters. Like this account is just farming for engagement and is not taking any news. They're taking a quote from a podcast from another grifter who himself has described what he does as like not serious and selling dick pills and like covering gossip, right? Yeah. But here's a grifter, an engagement farmer who's been outed on that Discord, like talking about crazy shit with Ibu. And he's just like, this is an official report that's going to go out. And Sean Rossap is like some kind of newsmaker because he said something on a fucking podcast called The Hump, which is a joke about WWE's failed podcast or whatever.
Yeah.
Like pathetic. This is them working themselves into a shoot thinking that they matter in this world. And like, they don't matter. They've created a world in which they can grift people into giving them money. And that is the actual definition of a grifter.
Well, I know. And that's why they get mad at motherfuckers like you and me, because we wake people up to that and they don't like that shit. That's like the number one thing. But listen, Dynamite just ended as well with them celebrating winning the trios titles off the Bumbleclaw Club and not the world title. And the crowd's dead as shit for this half-ass celebration. Like...
Bill, did Hook wrestle?
No, Hook was replaced by Powerhouse Hobbs, and then Hobbs won the titles with Joe and Shibata or whatever. So, and then they all celebrated and had a champagne bash where all the baby faces came out and confetti fell down and shit. That's what they did for the trios titles and not their world title, man. What a fucking... It's the dumbest shit of all time.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
So Hook, who threw up in the ring last week and then was dropped on his head, who didn't have concussion, according to Dave Meltzer, wasn't on in the match tonight as advertised.
Well, yeah, no, he had a fucking concussion, was barfing everywhere. Dave Meltzer's a fucking liar, dude. I got a super chat here from a long ass time ago. Sorry, King Dingaling. Did you see Ricochet get mad at Nick Khan remarks? Yes, that's in here. Is there a more sensitive person in the business? He just needs to let Samantha peg him and shut the fuck up. Oh, boy. Yeah, I mean, on the surface, it seems like he's suffering from, and we'll talk about this more in a bit,
emotional damage.
But he's just healing on everybody, man. You know? I don't think he's really angry at Nick Khan whatsoever.
Going back to that
he's just cringe.
Going back to that SAP reaction today, I think this was 100% bait by WWE, by Nick Khan. And like they're gonna find out very quickly which quote unquote wrestling influencers are like stooging, and also which talent are gonna go stooge to the wrestling influencers and say we're being benched. And it's gonna allow them to kind of suss out some snakes, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean they already did a stooge test like that not long ago, you know.
Yeah, like it just him falling for the bait. It's like you're not even good at what you do.
So Jimmy Cordera says, I would never ask this of anyone following here, but I implore you, please do not engage with SkyTel. Yeah, way ahead of you. So here's AEW, and the problem is that people are going, like, look at this. And quite like AEW didn't wait for you to find them. They found you at Harry Reid International Airport in Vegas getting ready for Mania weekend. Like, if you write that and you're just like, no, we're WrestleTube News and Entertainment, you're a fucking, this is so insanely cringe, bro. That's not random. It's calculated. Yeah, you fucking think? No, this was just randomly in Vegas on Mania weekend.
This is so fucking stupid.
This is so fucking stupid. And this is one of a million people who are like, and quite frankly, this is a genius marketing strategy.
Well, you know,
no, it's not fucking genius. AEW should be running a show there that week to fucking try and get on the wheeze off the
This
juice
is such
like everyone
weasel
else is
behavior.
around WrestleMania weekend. It's like, no shit, they're doing this. This is a fucking no-brainer. This isn't some genius tactic. They should be there running a fucking show, no less. It's crazy to me, man.
This is such weasel behavior. Like, if you want to compete and you want to show that you're like not afraid of the grind, you take your I don't want to get you in trouble, so I won't say what I was gonna say. But you put them on the table. You put them on the table. You run a show in Vegas, and you buy this ad space promoting that show. So when people get to the airport, they see your promotion for your show. But that would actually require like having some cojones to put on the table.
And in this trailer, all it is like, okay, they have Ospreay, then it's just Joe, Ricochet, and Christian, like all fucking WWE guys, man.
All
It's pretty
WWE
crazy.
guys. And it's like, what do they think people are going to do? Get to their Vegas hotel for WrestleMania week, and like, there's all these other shows, and they're just going to like spend their night in the hotel room watching Dynamite. Like,
and then
they won't even think about this by the time they leave, because I guarantee that they didn't actually spend the money to do this like for when people leave on like Sunday and Monday.
And then Baydala, of course, he has to comment on this.
This
Like
guy
the
defending it is a joke.
The motherfucker would never comment if WWE had stuff in an airport in the same town as AEW.
No, he's a shill for everybody. He's one of the most phonies out there. He's just trying to make money with everybody.
He goes, seems as if AEW WBD bought some ad space in the Vegas airport during WrestleMania weekend. Smart. And it's like, yeah, guys, no shit. Like, I don't fucking know. It's just so weird. We have to like pet Tony on the head whenever he does one fucking good thing after he's done 80 billion fucking things for years.
What is smart about wasting the money to do this? Like,
well, just because you're there for Vegas, like everybody's in Vegas for WrestleMania weekend. That's why all the indies, everyone. Tony Khan should be running the show.
Wrestling fans who already know that AEW exists and Dynamite exists. It's like, we're not talking about like millions of people. We're talking about like not even 100,000 people. They all fucking know wrestling exists in AEW. They're not watching it. So spending the money to do this so that you can go post a fucking clip on X is like, that's what you did it for, is to do this, which is not promotion or marketing because it's in the bubble. So it's not helping the company whatsoever. Brain dead.
No, I totally agree.
Blind leading the blind. There's not an actual intelligent business thought going on in any of those circles. And they all want to talk about how they sit at a table like the media mob. Tony Khan could do so much better.
Yeah, and it just sucks that this is the people that he fucking, well, they claim he
Tony
texts
Khan
them
can do
shit.
better. Shad Khan can do so much better.
So that was our sicko segment. Let's head on over to WWE news here. Let's hit a breaking news. So let's check it with chat here actually first, so then we'll get into breaking news. Couldn't draw 1,200 people. Yeah, they don't even have 2K for their next show. X Blue Sky, bruv. 626, he'd load the show up. I got to figure out this whole grafting thing. Phil, I repeat, AEW is the X videos of wrestling. They just steal content. AEW doesn't want the smoke on Mania week from the drone army. Well, they did in the airport there. I'm surprised WWE missed that. I would have thought they'd have tied up all the ad space in the airport. Maybe. Fortunately, some of the usual AEW critics are putting over tonight's Dynamite. I don't know. Yeah, it was kind of boring. I feel like the ending celebration was a little too markish. Yes, the fans. It's insane they celebrated the fucking trios titles and not like a world title win, man.
This whole episode was like straight out of the Vince McMahon playbook.
Well, speaking of Vince McMahon, so Raj Giri says WWE today announced the What Do You Want to Talk About podcast hosted by Cody Rhodes. The first episode will debut later this month with new episodes launching every other week. So shout out Cody Rhodes gets another gig. Speaking of podcasts, here's Liv and Dom playing.
That's a play for a younger audience, by the way, who won't grow up listening to podcasts by grifters.
Yeah. Liv Morgan, life flashed before her eyes when she got asked this question. So let's take a look here. They're on hot. Damn, that's wild.
I want to know, just because she had so many answers. I do want to know at least one or two.
Well, if you want to know about your tribal chief, he updated us on his training leading into WrestleMania here. Let's take a look.
It's funny because a lot of people call me a part-timer. A lot of people got a lot of things to say about my schedule. I'm no part-timer. I'm a full-time cash cow. Every second that I'm breathing, I'm working. That's how this whole thing works. Proof of concept. This business lives off me. Don't ever get it confused. Every second that I'm breathing, I'm working.
I feel like
Let's
someone
go.
told him to watch LeBron videos and just do what LeBron does.
Yeah,
Not
he's
a bad-
better than
not
LeBron.
A bad idea.
No.
Not a bad idea, though.
So report, New Japan getting closer to an agreement with WWE. We covered this earlier, but I mean, The Rock with the New Japan shirt. I've been talking about this for months and months and months. It was part of my 20 predictions at Christmas on the Christmas special for 2025. I said New Japan will distance themselves from AEW. They won't outright refuse to work with them, but they'll try and partner up more with WWE, especially when I saw the United Japanese Pro Wrestling Alliance or whatever, basically the NWA in Japan. New Japan sort of a part of that, where they're going to trade talent and help each other grow again. They're trying to get wrestling going again in Japan. I think they're going to work with WWE. We see The Rock here wearing a New Japan shirt. This isn't by coincidence. We see that after 3 years, the New Japan World aired its final broadcast of AEW with Japanese commentary. So they're
This
still
was
English
weird.
commentary will be,
This was
be on there.
weird. Your partners with AEW, your New Japan AEW, they have a partnership, and Japan is just no longer going to broadcast the show with Japanese commentary. It's like
Because
people don't
nobody's
listen to-
watching it. Japanese guys aren't watching it, man.
Brutal. Well, even still, like, it's just a weird thing to, you have a partnership. Like, what do you mean you're not going to broadcast it in the native language?
Yeah.
Like that.
So-
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, this person points out that on Bloodsport, they go, I would also like to point out that AEW's partner promotion, Stardom, has matches against WWE's wrestlers, and I'm not seeing the Marigold wrestlers at all. Interesting that one company was called The Feeder, and then its owner was blamed of funneling wrestlers to WWE.
Yeah, that was a red herring, huh?
And then you have Tanahashi-san saying that he admires WWE's ability to create stars, and characters. So,
That's
yeah, man,
the
it's going
most
to happen.
important. By the way, that's the most important one, because I've seen a lot of, I'll call them like non-WWE wrestling fans. I don't want to call them sickos because they're like very big New Japan fans as well.
Mhm.
And I respect that. But I've seen a lot of them confuse that President Tanahashi is like just a character. He's not. Like, this is a company that is owned by Bushiroad, that is a public company. He is the equivalent of Nick Khan. And you have to think that he is not going to do what's worst for business. Regardless of what the emotional attachment is to New Japan, that is the biggest key here. And when you start to look at who they're involved with, their business media partners over in Japan, and you consider that WWE and TKO have partnerships with them, you start to realize that, like, there's a 6 degrees of separation that, like, boy, could we do something here? And if you listen to Nick Khan speak today in his interviews, like, that's how this guy operates. He wheels, he deals. He figures out business situations that work for people and make them money. And that's what New Japan needs. That's what Bushiroad needs. And President Tanahashi is not a gimmick. That's an actual person in a role that is somewhat important.
So speaking of ways to make money, breaking for WrestleMania 41, all superstars will be wearing a WrestleMania patch on their gear. After the event, each patch will be placed into a one-of-one trading card. These one-of-one cards will then be inserted into random packs of upcoming trading card set for lucky fans to find. And a bunch of people were fucking triggered by this. A bunch of idiots are getting mad at this, like, this is so cringe. A, they're tiny as fuck. B, it looks like it's going to blend into people's gear. C, they have Raw and SmackDown debut ones. People are like, oh, imagine Umaga wearing that. Yeah, he'd just wear it on the inside of his tights, you fucking idiot. It would just be on the inside part. And also, baseball players and hockey players and football players and basketball players have all done this. This is just a billion-year-old fucking thing that they've done with trading cards that they're now bringing back. and figured out a way to insert it into wrestling, because wrestlers aren't going to chop their fucking gear up, because it's not like NHL where you have like 100 of the same fucking jerseys and then you got to slap different numbers and last names on them. It's like, you know, wrestling gear is the way it's made is like Rey Mysterio has his own guy, for instance. He's not going to just let anyone make his gear. So you do these patches instead. And this is just like an old, innovative way to bring back an old thing, because pulling cards is popular again. And people bitching about this and groaning. It's like, you won't even fucking notice it. It's insane to me.
Pulling cards is popular again, but when is pulling cards not popular to the audience that pulls cards? And that is an industry that has long sustained itself.
Yeah, forever.
It's always been a hobby. It's always been a thing for kids. It becomes a thing for collectors. It's no different than like comic books or any of that.
Yep.
And a lot of the people dunking on this probably love collecting comic books. But what I like here is like WWE is strategically coming up with more ways to like innovate what they've done for years. And I used to make fun of WWE when I called it like late stage capitalism. Like, let's just slap our logo on anything, a credit card, a lottery ticket, whatever. That's not innovative. That's late stage capitalism. Like that's just stamp Mickey Mouse ears on shit. But like
Batman with the bat visa in the fucking
right. Like, and you know when they're broke out of ideas, because it's like that's what they do. Right. This is innovative. This is picking up on a trend that's never really not been a trend, and trading cards is popular, and there is an audience for that, and this is unique. And I think it's just more evidence of like furthering partnerships. Like, good for Topps to get this deal. They've gone through a lot of hell with Fanatics, and it's good to see like that starting to heal by way of WWE. Topps, Fanatics, and who sits in the middle? WWE. I think it's great.
It's great. So look at this fucking schedule, dude. So April 14th, this is the week we're in. So we had Raw, and then NXT, WrestleMania kickoff, SmackDown, Hall of Fame, all on Friday. Like, are you fucking kidding me, man? Just do the Hall of Fame on like Thursday or some shit during the daytime. It's crazy. NXT Stand and Deliver. At like they have a 5 a.m. call time, bro.
What time? All right, so people are ragging on this, and I get the sense that you're not a big fan. But just out of curiosity, what time is that WrestleMania Hall of Fame?
It's at 1 a.m. Eastern, bro.
Eastern, right? But it's in Vegas, a late city as is, and it's at 10 o'clock. It's not so crazy. My point is that this is very unique to Vegas, as were the prices, and that a lot of the hysteria around it is more like just kind of Fox outrage. But this is very unique to the market. And when they go to other markets, it's not the same.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not angry at it. If I was in Vegas, I'd be partying it up. And I'm not angry at fucking like to me, it's just like Stand and Deliver really can't just be on the Friday and then you move what time SmackDown is or something. Do Hall of Fame on a Thursday, right? Like I don't get it. Like Stand and Deliver is supposed to be their WrestleMania. It's on at 1 Eastern. Yes. It's their WrestleMania. That's how it's.
In the sense that in the 2.0 era, it's not as prevalent.
No. This is even this year they're calling it Stand and Deliver season. It's Stand and Deliver season. Who's gonna stand and deliver? They're doing all the big matches for Stand and Deliver. Yeah, man, it's their WrestleMania, and so. You know, Stand and Deliver. It's like why
people. I'm like out on NXT. I don't really consume it so much.
Yeah, like it'll be on at fucking like 11 o'clock for me in the morning, and then I got to broadcast after and obviously review it and shit. So it is what it is, man. But more countdowns. WrestleMania Saturday, 2025 Slammies. Like, you mean to fucking tell me the Slammies time to be determined? That shit couldn't have happened on Tuesday before NXT during the day. Like, just air it on YouTube, air it on Netflix. No one gives a fuck. Like,
this is no different than what the Super Bowl does on Super Bowl day. It's just all day, wall to wall. Like, let's just put shows on there, give awards out. Like, I don't know. It's very much Super Bowl week.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, yeah, I'm not mad. I'm not sitting here like, oh, all this stuff, epic wrestling shit I get to watch. But I'm like, damn, they could have formatted this better. Is my gripe. So you could have formatted, and then the roast, and then we don't get to watch the fucking roast because they pussed out and they're not putting it on Netflix. Like, fuck out of here.
Don't be shocked if that doesn't end up on Netflix.
I'm hoping, fingers crossed for it. I don't think it's dead in the water either. I do not think. I've snooped my little nose around, and it might fucking air on Netflix. Provided that Kill Tony show that just dropped, like he went from YouTube to Netflix for one of his Kill Tonys. If that thing did good numbers, I'd be willing to bet that they drop the fucking roast and they just pick a day and maybe edit it and do it in the future,
I think it's
Something.
one of those things where they don't know how it's going to come across, and they're going to take it afterwards and like look
Yeah.
at it and say, "Can we slice this up into a special?"
I'm pretty sure too. That's how it's going to go.
I feel like I got super serious all of a sudden. We got into WWE. You talked about the business a little bit.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, man. It's good. It's fun stuff. In not so serious stuff, Seth Rollins says that he would step into the octagon and fight CM Punk in the UFC.
Punk also had an MMA fight. I don't know how many. I think he had an MMA fight. Would you shut up? Would you fight him in an MMA fight?
In an MMA fight?
Would you fight? Like, would you really fight him for real?
Sure. Yeah, I would. Not. I mean, look, I'm not going to just bust, into his locker room backstage and start.
Oh shit! I'm not just gonna bust into his locker. Oh shit! Can't help but take shots at the Bucks because at the end of the day, they're like friendly. They're like teammate rivals now. Punk and Seth, like they're on the same team at the end of the day. Even if
they're doing big business together, actual big business. What was the match they had in NXT years ago where they did like a work shoot type fight? They did. It was. I think Matt Riddle was in it.
The Fight Pit.
The Fight Pit.
Yeah.
Who says no? Fuck it. Like pop a number on Netflix. Like that's something to build up to. You did a cage match. Now do a fight pit.
Yeah, do a fight pit and then get like Daniel Cormier or one of those guys to
Yeah,
referee
like
again, like a
the
shoot, like
UFC,
Kurt Angle comes
right.
in. Yeah.
Oh, it'd be so. Yo, can we call that?
Lighten him up.
Give me odds.
But like, if Dana White wanted to book CM Punk for Seth Rollins, first like I guess non-UFC fighter fight on one of his cards, I'd put on the gloves and give it a go. It might be the only one I do, but yeah, I would do. You put me in there with like any of the other guys in my weight class, I'm out. But yeah, I mean, Dana, you want to make some money? Book it, brother.
That would be
just
phenomenal.
give us a few months. Give me a few months. Give me like a training camp. But I feel like I could.
I don't know. I think Punk would submit Rollins if I had to bet. Because like, here's the thing. Punk's not like some wizard purple belt or maybe he's got a blue belt or so. I don't even know what he's got now, right? But it's like it's just that he's done. You don't just pick up jujitsu and things like that overnight, like give us a couple months to train your cardio, it's like you're not going to pick up elite boxing skill and shit in that amount of time.
He's going to learn. He's going to hit up Logan and be like, teach me. Logan Paul learned to box. Like you tell me.
I know, but he took a lot of time and he surrounded himself. And Logan's not that good, to be honest. He's not that good of a boxer. Jake's way better.
That's why I didn't say Jake.
Right, but they just like shut their whole lives down, moved to Puerto Rico, and like learned how to box. Man, if you had the money, like Rollins could do the same thing, but it's not like he's dedicating his life to boxing. And then he learns boxing. Punk shoots a double leg, and then what? We saw Rollins get taken down by a fucking fan who shot a double leg on him. You know what I'm saying, dude?
Yeah,
so I don't know about.
He would get taken down. Punk would go for a takedown.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, man.
He's
So
fun,
and
though.
like,
Like that.
yeah, Punk has trained with some legit motherfuckers too, like for longer than you would think, even to get ready for his WWE return.
Everyone clowns on him losing, but like straight up, he did the thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's the WWE ID Championship tournament. So Zeta Steele versus Kylie Ray, Marcus Mathers versus Sam Holloway, Ice Williams versus Atticus Kogar from GCW versus Aaron Roberts, Aaron Rourke versus It's Gal, Jordan Oasis versus Freedom Ramsey, Zara Zacher versus Izzy Moreno, and then a 6-man tag team match, Swipe Right versus Jack Cartwheel and Cappuccino Jones and Sean Legacy there. So I don't know, just some.
I'm the perfect audience for this because I don't know who a single one of those people are outside of Izzy, and obviously Kylie Ray, but like WWE puts their name behind this, and this gets covered on a show like yours, and I know who it is. I know who these people are now, or at least I don't know who these people are, but I know I've heard their names, and if I see them, I would be like, oh. Whereas, like, so I would just like somebody to explain how that's not good for wrestling.
I know. It's so stupid that people complain about that shit. Oh no, they're gonna get more eyeballs on indies. Speaking of eyeballs, Doja Cat says all her Fortnite skins are baddies and proceeds to put on her Bianca Belair Fortnite skin.
Dope.
So I guess this is Doja Cat playing.
Not
Yeah,
me.
look how cute it is. Like Ryan has it, and that's a straight man. Like, why don't I have that? Ryan, you can't send me a skin.
I've never played Fortnite.
Never, but like, tell me again that WWE is not mainstream and that they don't make
Yeah.
stars. That Bianca Belair is not like one of their biggest. Right.
WWE's Natalya reveals that Nikki Bella has been having private training sessions with her. Nikki actually has been coming and training with me privately, so she flies in every week, and she's been coming and working with me. She's coming back to the WWE for sure, at least one more run or to try and get a Mania match next year or something. And yeah, shout out Giga Chad, Chris Van Vliet. And are you a Bella fan or what?
I wouldn't mind her coming back. I think it'd be entertaining, but like, this goes back to the thing earlier. Like, Natty's on the bench, or is Natty training people and working with people, and that's what her deal is inclusive of. Anyway, I just shout out Bella coming back, and then they'll do the Bella twins, and they'll go into the Hall of Fame, and then who's going to be there, and all roads lead back to
John
Rome.
Cena. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, they're already in the Hall of Fame, though. They did it during the pandemic, like when everybody forgot, that one that
did
everyone
they really?
forgot.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Wow. I must not be that much of a Fed fan.
Yeah, it is what it is, you sicko.
So, yeah.
I was just going to say, Triple H and Nick Khan revealed that Travis Scott told them he slapped Cody Rhodes so hard because The Rock told him that he needed to slap the shit out of him.
Believable.
So Khan said Triple H did tell Travis after, like, hey, that was a pretty hard slap. We'll show you how to pull your punches a little bit. Travis said, Dwayne Johnson told me you better slap the shit out of him or people are going to think that you don't have it. So I just did that. Triple H said that. Ironically, the only person that didn't complain about the slap was Cody Rhodes. He just wanted it to look good. So there's
nothing about that story that is not believable.
Yeah. So Nick Khan expects a number of AEW wrestlers to jump ship once WWE once their contracts expire. He says in terms of the other wrestling promotions, the other wrestling promotional company, they have a lot of talented wrestlers and we're happy about that. When contractually they are available to talk and have conversations with, assume a number of them will come over. Nothing but respect to the father who finances it and owns the Jaguars and all of those other things. Nick Khan fucking cooking, Tony Khan.
Back to there's only room in wrestling for one Khan, and Tony thought it was him.
Yeah.
There might only be room in sports and entertainment for one Khan, and it's not Tony. And
yeah, it's Nick, dude.
Look
and
where this is taking place, though.
He's like, yeah, dude, your kid. Like, yeah, on Bill Simmons' podcast as well. But he's like, yeah, the kid of the Jaguars owner, just the fact he dismisses him like that is so fucking funny.
This is what we call a receipt. And it's taking place on the Bill Simmons podcast. You know anything about Bill Simmons?
Well, of course, good sir.
So, like, Bill Simmons is not a nobody, and Bill Simmons is very much like in that sports media world.
Yeah,
and they are just open flaming the son of the owner of the Jaguars, which it's happened in other places as well. Like, this is not a tribalistic thing. Like, Tony Khan is bad news. Tony Khan is not a serious person, and serious places talk about that. And wrestling fans celebrate him. So
speaking of the Bill Simmons show, Nick Khan says that WWE won't sign people to bench them and only sign people they want to use. That's something we won't do. We won't sign and bench people. We sign people who we want to use. If another entity signs and benches people like now, that's not something we would do. Sean Ross Sapp had a fucking hissy fit about it. We move along. So Stephanie McMahon continues to be in these interview streets with her new podcast, What's Your Story? And Alfred Kunawa here, This Is Nasty. I did a podcast with him, Pro Wrestle Times Podcast 92, that dropped this morning. So you guys are getting a double dose of your boy Phil. And we dropped this morning. So make sure you check that out and shout him out. And so, Stephanie's Places is on ESPN, but What's Your Story, presented by Fanatics, is her podcast. The first guest is UFC president and CEO Dana White. So go figure. That should be good.
Why are Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland drinking in the ring with Samoa Joe?
Because all the baby faces came out to celebrate them winning the
Tomohiro Ishii is there?
Yeah.
What the fuck is this?
Bro, you know what they say, man.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
Speedball is like just a joke. Kevin Knight is just a joke. Like they're there with the Dark Order. Are they in the Dark Order?
No, it's just people. All the baby faces came down to be like, "Yay, we beat the fucking Bumbleclot Club for their trios titles."
Who got the pin? Did Joe pin Moxley?
No, Joe didn't pin Moxley. Who got the pin again, chat? I'm over here doing a live show. Like Joe gave the title to, I think Joe got the pin though, right? And he gave the title to Hobbs, all like, "You earned this" and stuff. So I don't know, man. It was weird that they would do
Joe's
that.
like, I don't want this. I didn't come back for the trios title.
Yeah, it's weird that they wouldn't like celebrate the world title being beat, like Mox losing the belt and then them celebrating like that for that. They're like, "Oh yeah, the Bumbleclaw Club are just gone. Like, why don't they come back next week and just stab people with scissors and fucking kidnap people and get their belt? Like, they could just do that. Why don't they take the trios belts, put them all in cases too, like the world title? Like, it's just stupid. It doesn't matter. You know, it's just a weird time to have a celebration, at least in my opinion, over the trios belts, like the most meaningless belts with the most meaningless division in all of AEW. But WWE's Ridge Hall in response to being called a generationally bad wrestler. So he's just been healing really well on fans.
Oh, here we go again. Looks like this individual correlates cool moves with good wrestler. Let me let you in on a little psychology.
Joe choked Moxley. That's how it went down. So there you go. So instead of beating
Moxley, so we're gonna get Joe and Moxley at Double or Nothing.
Well, why don't they just have Joe beat Moxley for the world fucking title?
No,
We just end this
that's
already.
not the story. The
It's
story
so stupid. It's so
no,
fucking bad.
the story is that Moxley beats all the old champions.
I'm a villain, a bad guy, a heel. You're not supposed to like anything I do. I should have no redeeming qualities. Whether that be the way I wrestle, the way I talk, even my mere presence you should dislike. So with all that being said, and judging by your comment, I think you're the one that's been worked, sunshine. Oh, and before I forget, you're a virgin. Ta-da, lad. Oh, here we
He's
go
just
again.
calling people virgins. I thought that was funny. So, man, Vegas is ready for Mania. We got Elvis here. We found him. He's alive.
Fantastic. Very polite.
There you go. We found Elvis. He's alive. Tupac's around there too somewhere. So there's only one room for one Khan in the wrestling business, and that's Nick Khan. So let's hear what Nick Khan has to say.
In terms of the other wrestling promotional company.
We read this quote, but let's listen to it from Khan's mouth here.
Yeah, well, what is with the aggregators typing the quotes? Like, it's 2025. Just get us a video. We can decide for ourselves what they said.
In terms of the other wrestling promotional company, they have a lot of talented wrestlers, and we're happy about that. When contractually, they're available to be, talked to and have conversations with, assume a number of them will come over. And nothing but respect for the father who
that was way too nice.
Finances it and owns the Jaguars and all those other things.
That was very pleasant. Look at you.
That's it.
So magnanimous.
I'm 50 now, so different than when we were much younger.
And that's all it is. Like, they just don't take it serious because they know that Tony Khan, like, his dad's just funding this. And don't be shocked if it comes out that, like, the Khans are just funding their own fucking TV deal to some degree too. And that's why Warner's down with this,
Hey, going back to that comment about them like not benching talent.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they're gearing up for another show? And do you think there would be an appetite by a distributor to carry another show?
What, AEW?
No. Fuck no.
WWE.
WWE.
Yeah, I know that Nick Khan really wanted to make NXT just like a full-blown third brand and to have like other shit as developmental. Right. So they could be trying to launch maybe a third show and then have 3 brands. I don't fucking know. That would be a lot of world title. You'd have to unify all the titles for that to work for me. But speaking of working, man, X has gone to work making these little emojis for WrestleMania. So when you hashtag your favorite superstars, you get these little emojis here. So yeah, let's check them out, I guess. I mean,
and Snapchat did a whole Bitmoji thing too.
There you go for WWE. So they're fucking rocking, man.
Again,
mainstream again.
Tell me they're not mainstream.
Yeah. So Nick Khan said it was so obvious to me that CM Punk wasn't a cancer, and he's been a gem to work with. So there you go. Triple H responds to the IWC with Peter Rosenberg to IWC criticism regarding Jey Uso's in-ring skills. Okay, so let's take a listen to this.
Why is this the right moment for Jey Uso to be in the spot?
Because it's a real question.
It happened.
Yeah.
Sometimes things happen organically along the way that get you to where you want to be. And Jay, through the bloodline saga, was sort of
It's quiet on their end, I assure you.
a linchpin in that storytelling, then goes off on his own. And, you know, a lot of people question whether these guys, once they leave the bloodline, once they leave Roman, once they leave Heyman, are they going to be anything more than a tag team that they already were? Or are they going to just be what they were? Or are they going to succeed and be anything more? You give them the opportunity to do all those things.
Yeah, so Jay just exceeding expectations in that. I mean, we don't have to listen to the whole clip. So I don't know. Trinity just fucking went insane on Twitter, and Jade Cargill and Naomi have been going back and forth. And Jade Cargill says, just like we know you went to the doctor for your ass shots. And then Trinity goes, Naomi says, the only ass shots I get are from Big Jim, dude. Oh my God.
You what?
Fucking hilarious. I just thought that was funny to bring to the show. But guys, you know what day it is? Not only is it Rusev Day, but it is Ren's Day. We got to figure this out, man. Rusev Day and Ren's Day on the same day. Pretty nuts. But yeah, it's Ren's Day, and here's our final bit of WWE news. And we love Ren's Day here at PWT. And here is, a happy Ren's Day with Ren Kowski here. Ren Sinclair, Maddie Renkowski, Ren Sinclair.
Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Sorry it's later than normal. I have been procrastinating on packing for Mania weekend in Vegas. Come see me on Friday, Superstar Row, Photo Row. Let's go ahead and get started though. Number 1, what is the most unusual venue you've wrestled at? So being an indie worker, we work at a lot of weird things, but they're almost considered normal to us, like VFW, churches, school gymnasiums. I think the weirdest place that I've worked at is a parking lot in a car dealership in Houston. But I will say that tops that, the worst locker room that I've ever been in is a dumpster. It was a dumpster behind the venue that had like one of those little fences around the dumpster. That's where we changed. Number 2, a lot of people ask this one. So if you are stuck on a deserted island and you could only bring 3 things, what are they and why? I would bring Bear Grylls because he's
Bear Grylls.
Bear Grylls, and like he's got me.
This is the future Chelsea Green right here. AEW fumbled Ren Sinclair. Let everybody know.
He was in that company?
Yeah, she was there during the pandemic era a lot, and she worked a lot with Jade Cargill, teaming up with her and then getting beat by her. And when she was with Jade, man, I was like, yo, this girl right here, her name was Maddie Renkowski, now Ren Sinclair in NXT. But I was like, whoever that girl is, you guys can go way back, fact check me on it. And I was like, whoever, Renkowski is, like, she's fucking good. She's money, man. She's money. And then when she was released from AEW, I was like, damn, I hope she's in NXT. Boom, a little while later, she's in NXT. And before she went to NXT, she was doing sketches like this and staying relevant and cutting good promos. And she was just working the indies and fucking cutting promos like this. And to me, this is the future Chelsea Green, I'm telling you.
I would also bring
who this was.
Yeah.
Like an RV or like
she's in the No Quarter Catch crew in NXT.
some type of shelter. And then I would bring like something to like filter the water, like water filtration tablets. I don't know. But if I could like cheat and not play the game right, I would say like a boat and like a ton of gasoline. Third question.
Like, she looks at her hand, there's nothing written on her hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's real good at these bits.
Yeah,
We're running
a TikTok kid.
Yeah.
out of time. Am I an honorary member of the Ren QCC? Well, you see, the thing is, I would say yes, but then like Charles, he said that I wasn't allowed to induct people into our group because last time I tried to give someone a tryout, it didn't end up well, and I ended up getting hurt, and also my feelings were hurt really bad. So in a roundabout way, it's like a yes, but also a no, but also a maybe.
Yeah, she has a future.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was WWE News. Round of applause. And ladies and gentlemen, that was our show for this evening. Damn near 4 hours. I have to stream all weekend. I know I teased you with the Dave Meltzer, but we did a huge Dave Meltzer segment last time, so there's not even a lot accumulated. I'll jump on early to review Stand and Deliver and do a Dave Meltzer with you guys going into the first night one of WrestleMania. I'm looking so fucking forward to this. If you guys want to hear my preview, make sure you check out the preview show I did with Alfred Konuwa. I want to thank Ref MJ from NJ being here tonight with me to react to some of this shit. Round of applause. Go follow him at SomeXError. Round of applause for MJ from NJ. And is there anything you need to plug before we get out of here or what?
No. I was just going to ask, are you excited for Mania?
I'm fucking excited, man. I'm going to get lit. I'm going to be super sauced. MJ, I'm going to be on the air streaming both nights. If you want to pop in, let me know, okay? Either of the nights or just whenever. If you need to pop in for 10 minutes, dip out, you're welcome to join in. And Kenneth Douglas has been a member for 1 month. 1 month, rather. 1 month. Jesus Christ. I need to get out of here, yeah? But, yeah, Goats right there. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Guys, I appreciate you. We have Mania coming up. I hope you guys are fucking excited. Okay, I'm going to review Stand and Deliver an hour early before Mania Night 1 goes on air, and we'll do some Dave Meltzer. I promise you. We're going to get in the Discord so you guys can pick against me, okay? The people who pick better than me both nights get entered into draws for $50 gift card giveaways. Okay, that's what we're gonna do for Mania. I appreciate you all. If you're on X, come subscribe over on YouTube. Hit like, hit dislike. Again, MJ, I appreciate you coming on. And guys, take care of each other. Drink lots of water. You know, go outside. Lots of time we're gonna be sitting inside watching Mania. And until next time, I will see you all. Okay, in the Upside Down. Peace.
A bitch. You're about to get vile. Yeah. I'm a prom queen, but I keep to myself, stacking high green. You're in debt to your health. AARP. Ain't shit old but my wealth. And my oppie's getting dumber every day. Ha! In the gym, but I never need a witness. Tonic and gin when I'm working on my fitness. On Becca, on God, I'll make you wish you had this hot bod. On Becca, on God, I'll make you wish you had this hot bod. On Becca, yeah, on God, I'll make you wish you had this hot bod. On Becca, on God, I'll make you wish you had this hot bod. I be flexing like the dudes high on tread, all natural. Better give her 10s. They say, Blondie, how you getting those abs? Hey, Bobby, let me call you a cab. Long legs. I'm a woman in STEM. My eggs, fertile, healthy, and femme. My trades, flowing free like the Thames. And my haters getting madder every day.
What do we got? Super Dave, Pro Wrestle Clips. Tony Khan has Camille and Megan Baines sitting at home being paid since 2023 for nothing. Come on now. It's not going to be the pod calling some kettle black on that one. Truth is the truth. Becker was more over than Mone. Yes. I'm sorry. I'm reading slow. Becker was more over than Mone and is going to the big times. Absolutely. And I said that. I think I covered that show. In fact, I know we did. And I pointed out, I'm going to go back and listen to my own comments. But I did make a mental note. And I think I did point out that I thought she looked really good because I had never seen her before.